All right, how everybody? I'm back to Beethoven. We've, um, we made it through. It's all 9 symphonies are a little over 6 hours, and so I ate through Beethoven already, and I loaded up a bunch of Mozart, and that's a lot of Mozart I'm not crazy about, but I love every single one of these symphonies. And the main reason I'm choosing classical music is because, and specifically orchestral, symphonic is it's public domain. I don't have to worry about copyright or anything, and it's good background music. Anyway, so I'm just gonna number 9, or not number 9, Beethoven 9, Beethoven's 9. There it is. Beethoven's 9 is just going to be the basic background, and I'll just keep starting it over again. So we're back to 1. We're back to 1 now, but we are continuing with volume 2 of Virginia's deposition, selected excerpts, depending on what it was that they were using it as supporting documentation for. So, again, thank you for your time, if you are giving me your time. I hope it's well worth spent, your time. I hope this is helping people. I know sometimes people don't like to read. It's just, I totally get it. And again, to say I'm enjoying this is not the right word. Why is this so dim? Oh. He's fucking... Alright. Still dim. Alright, anyway. So, here we go. Your cat and Sage is back. Hello. Say hello, Sage. I'm sure Cece Fox will show up at some point. Alright, so we have Virginia Giuffre Volume 2. This was on November 14th, 2016. Sorry. November 14, 2016. Giuffre v. Maxwell. Deposition. The previous video, the very end of it, it's like almost 5 hours long. I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm just going to go until I can. Oh, I have the fans off because I watched some of it back, and it does cut into the sound. It also cuts into my sweltering heat, but I'll see how long I can take it without the fans on. I might just reposition one like over there far away, so maybe it won't interfere so much. So the end of the last video was the volume 1 of this excerpts from, because remember, this is the unsealed discovery. So it's all, there's any exhibits, any arguments that were written, motions, all, well, I don't know. It's 800 something pages. I don't know what's in here. I honestly don't. When it first came out last year, I think I only saw what was like reported on. I myself, I don't think ever went into the document itself. But that's different. I'm like on pins and needles waiting for this latest release. I'm gonna do so again. If this is your first time, this is episode 4. My plan is to just keep on doing this. It's 883 pages, and I'm on page 110. So you can extrapolate from that. 100 pages. What is this? 8 hours. Say take out maybe 2 hours of that, of just whatever. So 6 hours to read 100 pages. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to do the math, so it'll take a few days at least to get through it all. But as soon as that new one comes out, I am going to do this and start at page 1 and just read. So if you guys are enjoying this, please join me. It's helping me. I'm, the whole lockdown thing. I'm not a big social butterfly. I don't, like I said in previous videos, it's not like I have a ton of friends or anything. But I do have them, and and I would go out a couple days a week. I have a couple of very good friends who were bartenders, and I would go to their places of employment and have a lovely time talking to strangers, talking to friends, and all that's gone. So, I don't talk. In general, I'm like that. I'm just not a social butterfly in any way. I'm a loner. I've always been like that. So I'm fine being alone. I really like being alone. As I said in, I think, the first video, I grew up, I'm an only child, and I was very independent. My parents always gave me a lot of independence and trust, and I never violated that trust. And so anyway, so I like being alone. I love going to movies alone. I love going to dinner alone. I love spending my birthday alone, to be honest with you. Anyway, but it just finally got to me, and with all this shit going on, and I have a lot of thoughts. I got a lot of thoughts about this, and I just figured, what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go. I have this YouTube channel. I don't even, I never had anything on it. So I was just, fuck it. I'm just gonna read this. Just simple, just simple. I'm just gonna read this shit, and then, bring to the table what I already know and have, just theories on, based on, facts and just deduction or whatever. So anyway, okay, that's enough of that. So here we go, Volume 2 of Virginia's deposition. And so we have here, Sigrid S. McCauley, it looks like, is the attorney today for Virginia. And then it's our friend manager. Oh, both of them. And Pagliuca. And that's it. Once again, Ghislane. Obviously she wouldn't be there for this. So we have... for Virginia, the attorney for Virginia is Sigrid S. McCauley, and for Ghislane, our friends, manager, and Pagliuca. Is it K? Yeah, Pagliuca. I think that's how you pronounce it. All right, here we go. So we start with the page numbers in the bottom here. So we start with page 470, and that title page was 340. So we got a lot of deposition prior to this, so we don't know what's going on. Wait, is this a different... I don't know if it's a different... Oh, November 14th. Yeah, this is a different day. I think this is a different day. Okay. All right. Answer, yes. Question. And you believe the Neiman Marcus was located in which city? Well, it's around Fort Lauderdale. I can't tell you exactly. Fort Lauderdale is so big, like Broward County. Is that the word for it? And what did you do at Neiman Marcus? I worked in the changing rooms. And what did you do in the changing room? I think I just, if I remember right, I just put clothes away that people left in there. Probably went out to get sizes, different sizes for women who wanted different sizes of the same product. And where did you work after Neiman Marcus? Taco Bell. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, it's not in that way. It's just as a life thing to go from Neiman Marcus to Taco Bell. She was just taking jobs. Did you work at Southeast Employment Management Company? I don't recognize that. I don't know if that's a payroll company or what it is. I don't know what Southeast... What is it called? Yeah, because sometimes... Exactly. We've all gotten it, especially if you do a lot of, gig work, You get your tax whatever from some company. You're like, who is this? And then you have to, oh right, this must be for that, so anyway. All right. I don't know, what is it called? Southeast Employee Management Company. No, I don't remember that. Did you ever work as a temp? Yeah, see, I worked as a temp for huge amount of, probably more than half of my, to date. I haven't done it in years. I don't ever want to go back to it, but it certainly was interesting though. tell you that, especially depending on who you work for. I like this color, so. All right, did you ever work as a temp? Oh, good, it doesn't jump. Okay, did you ever work as a temp? Not that I remember. Going to different offices and filling in? No. Did you work for Oasis Outsourcing? I don't know if that's a payroll company or if that's an actual place, but that doesn't ring a bell. Do you know how much you got paid when you were working at places like Oasis Outsourcing? Well, considering I don't know if I worked at Oasis Outsourcing, I wouldn't even know how much I got paid. Did you review your Social Security records? Yes. Yeah, you can see it. You can see all this. That's where I saw it. That's where I saw this. I was like, what? What was this? And I had to figure out like the years, what I was doing. And I was like, oh, that was probably, working in theater, especially too. I was like, oh, that was probably that, Did you review your Social Security records? Yes. You saw Oasis Outsourcing listed there. Right. But like I said, it doesn't even ring a bell at all. It doesn't even ding a bell at all. Do you know how much money they... Do you know how... What is she going for here? She's like that Virginia's holding back people that she worked for? What is she going for here? Do you know how much money they paid? They said you. Okay, it must be a typo. Do you know how much money they paid you? Oh no, I'm sorry. It's for some reason the screen is really dim, and I don't. It's an iMac Air. All right, whatever. Do you know how much money they said you made from them? Ms. McCauley. Ms. McCauley, objection. If you want to show her the documents, she can see what amount is listed and answer your questions. But if you're not going to show her the document, that's the best she can do. Yeah, if you could, I'm happy to answer your questions. I want to be helpful. So, manager, great. Well, Great. Well, do you remember how much money you made from Oasis Outsourcing? Like I said, I don't even remember working for Oasis Outsourcing or what it is, so I couldn't tell you. Do you remember how much money you were making per hour at Neiman Marcus? No, not off the top of my head. Do you know how many months you worked there? Not long. I'd probably say, I don't know. I'm not going to guess. But around the 3-month mark, would be I don't know the exact answer. Do you remember any of your coworkers? No. Did you work at Menino's? Briefly, yes. What is Menino's? A cute little Italian restaurant in Wellington. And what did you do at Menino's? I did waitressing. And how much did you make? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. Did you work at TGI Fridays? God, she worked a lot, man. Again, very short time period, and I was a waitress again. I don't know how people work at TGI Fridays. I've worked in I've worked in a lot of different things, and the service industry being one of them, both as a waitress, as a bartender, as a cocktail waitress, here in New York City, mostly. Bartending and cocktailing all in New York City. I worked at Mrs. Fields once when I was younger, obviously. I can only lie. I only made it 2 weeks. That was my only mall job, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Plus the smell of it. You'd be surprised. I got so fucking sick of those cookies. I got sick of Mrs. Fields cookies. But smelling it all the time, and I would be able to take home as many as I wanted, and I was like, oh my God, I just can't anymore. It wasn't a fun job. So I don't blame her for leaving these types of jobs not lasting long. Okay. Did you work at TGI Fridays? Again, very short time period, and I was a waitress again. And how much did you make there? I have no idea. Did you get fired? No. Why did you leave? That's around the time period that I was approached by, I can't remember his name, but he owned a veterinary clinic, or he was a vet, or one of the two, and he offered me to come work for him. When you were working at TGI Fridays, were you also working at the Roadhouse Grill? No. Those were not at the same time. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe consecutively, like after each other. Do you recall working at the Roadhouse Grill? Yes. And why did you leave there? We all know that. Oh, We all know that the thing that went down. We all know that the thing that went down. Oh, we all know that the thing went down there. We all know that the thing went down there. Oh, I see. Oh, about Tony stealing the tips. Right. Oh, I see. Okay. We all know that the thing that went down there. Okay, I think that's how it is. We all know that the thing that went down there. Tony picked me up and took some money out of the jar, and then I went to give it back to the guy thinking that it would all be all right, and it wasn't. So I got fired, I think. Sure. Okay. I show you some are we on 9? Yes, 9. Yeah, that was Palyuka answering. So manager, I think exhibit 9. Manager, I'd like to show you defendant's exhibit 9. Exhibit 9 marked. Thank you. I guess, do you recognize the handwriting? Do you recognize your handwriting on this document? Yes. Did you fill out an application for employment? Yes, on March 26th of 2002. So, okay. Yes. And where were you living at that time? I put down my parents' address, but... Oh, and then we have a jump. All right, so we go from 474 to 530? 550? Jesus, almost 100 pages. All right. So who the fuck knows what went down in there? All right, so last line, we're talking about her. I think the application for employment is probably the Roadhouse Grill, March 26, 2002 is my guess, but I don't know. Okay, so now we jump almost 100 pages. It looks like it's a question, the last line of a question. And seasonal employee, correct? Probably Mar-a-Lago we're talking about now. Correct. Yeah, we're talking about Mar-a-Lago now. Correct. And your dad was a full-time year-round employee, right? Yes. He worked there all the time. Yes. And your job was a seasonal employment. Well, as far as I know. Objection, Virginia, Ms. Macaulay. I was hired for the summer, so... Right, okay. So the work hours in the next paragraph. What is that? Can you just read that bottom paragraph for us? The club never shuts down from November 1st to Mother's Day for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Jeez. Grubbing that money as much as you can, right? Grubbing that fucking money. What's the drum play? For 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it serves the diverse needs of our members. Therefore, to ensure that adequate coverage at all times, departments... Oh, it's a quote. Oh, she's reading. This is the Mar-a-Lago. Oh my god. Okay, let me start over again. Okay, I was hired for the summer, so... Right, okay. So the work hours in the next pair. Okay, so she's been reading stuff from about probably like Mar-a-Lago, what do you call it? Promotional materials or something. I don't know. So the work hours in the next paragraph, what is that? Can you just read that bottom paragraph for us? Okay, quote, that's what I missed. Quote, the club never shuts down from November 1st to Mother's Day for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can imagine the Trump music. Fucking shit. 7 days a week, it serves the diverse needs of our members. Oh, we got Beethoven. Therefore, to ensure the adequate coverage at all times, departments have arranged different schedules. Oh no, this was probably employee information, like an employee packet or something, you know. Therefore, to ensure the adequate coverage at all times, departments have arranged different schedules for their employees. Unquote. Question. Okay, I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit 20. Close this one? Yeah. So it's like a book. Yeah, so it's probably like the employee, binder. I mean, something like this is going to have probably a place like Mar-a-Lago. Close this one? Yeah. Oh, that's it. Okay, so I'm guessing all of this discovery of this released 800 whatever it is pages is discovery that was included for both sides, right? You know, because the defense could definitely pick out parts of a deposition that they, of Virginia or whoever, that they feel could support their argument for defense or whatever for Ghislane, right? So without context, it's you know what I mean? It's hard to process why was this testimony, this single page, just talking about, you know, and this harkens back to, remember in earlier, I think it was Ostrich, Menninger, was kind of implying with one of her questions that Virginia didn't, like, she quit. It was something about her hours. Remember that? And so this harkens back to that. So clearly they're trying to build an argument for something that Virginia is doing, or I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? So, all right, let's just keep going. All right, so that's Virginia. Next, we have Exhibit 6. And it is taken Friday, November 19th, 2016. So usually depositions are scheduled to all happen around the same time. That's just the way it works, unless you end up having to, like, for whatever reason, somebody isn't available, and then they'll move it from the original, what the original scheduled date was. But I think it's 60 to 90 days from the time that the motion is, you know, served or whatever, or the demand, or okay, so I still don't know who it is. So Friday, November 18th at 2016 at 8:27 a.m. This one is taken in London, so who could this be? This one is in England. Who? Doesn't even say who it is. Am I missing something? It doesn't say who. It doesn't even say. Oh, because this is. Oh, wow. All right. Let me read this. Let me read this entire one. Oh, wait a minute. What? Jesus, I can make this bigger. Hold on. Sometimes I forget about the tech that is available to me. Oh my God, it's so stupid. I could totally make this bigger. Oh my God. All right. There we go. Jesus. No wonder. I was looking at it like 25% size. All right. Okay. So at the very top, so this is a UK court document. This one, that's why it looks totally different. That's why I was so confused. All right. Okay, so at the very top, almost like a header, it says Ross Neal, Sutherland, GOW. I don't know what GOW means. Some acronym for, not an acronym, but some for in England. November 18, 2016, and then within the document itself, in the High Court of Justice, Queen's Bench Division. And then, oh, there's a claim number. There's a British claim number. Is there a British citizen? Oh! Okay. Hold on. So this is, okay. So Virginia has something against Ross Gow. Who is Ross Gow? Fuck. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna. Fuck. Oh, goddamn. It doesn't matter. All right. I'm gonna look up really quick because the name sounds familiar. Ross Gow. Who is he? So I have context. Ross is the founder and managing partner of Ross is the founder and managing partner of Acuity. It's an acronym. Reputation. He is on the advisory board of the Moscow International Finance Committee and an honorable member of the European Executive Council. He is a freeman of the City of London, a fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, and his pro bono work includes advising the... That's just the preview. All right, what else? Oh. Is this... See him? It's him. Looks like a... Todd... What is it? Todd Waddle? I don't know. Man... Oh, no, this is different. Somebody named Ross Gow in Glasgow was killed. That's not him. PrecisionReputation.com. Well, that's ironic. Having been a barrister, broker, and also an entrepreneur, Gow has seen plenty of reputations rise and fall. The managing partner of Acuity, no, this one isn't an acronym, specializes in working with oligarchs. Who is this fucking guy? And high-ranking foreign HNWs, protecting digital identity, fighting internet defamation cases, and making sure a Google search for clients' names yields positive results. Hold on, okay, one more, and then I'm gonna do a search with Virginia. Let's see. Ghislane Maxwell. Oh. What's this? More to read. Opinion. Emotions. Alright, I'm gonna get this way. Hold on. I'm gonna save that already. Oh, fuck. Sometimes, fucking YouTube, sometimes it plays, I don't pay for the extra. Ugh, it's getting hot. Sometimes it plays when I go to other apps, and sometimes it doesn't. It's really fucking annoying, especially at times like this when I really want it to play while I'm doing this, and it's why does it do that? It's because it's in my alright, let me try something. I don't use my TV because the internet craps out so much with it, and it just stops, and I just don't. Shit, fuck it. Alright, let me just do this and then I'll play the music again. This is wasting time. Alright. Fuck. It's really getting hot. I might have to turn that fan on. Oh, right. Alright, Ross. Oh, the younger guy. Right. So the black and white photo is the Ross gal that we are speaking of. The other one is the one who was murdered. And just to be clear, when I was talking about, yeah, he looks like I wasn't talking about the young guy. I was talking about the guy, the black and white. All right. Oh. I wonder. I typed Riskow. All right. Okay. Oh, here. Roskow on Twitter. So there he is. It's the two, the black and white, and the one next to him are both a guy who protects oligarchs. All right. Let's see. All right, all right. I guess that's enough. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I don't know what we have in here. Maybe I'll be able to somehow deduce what his involvement is. Like I said, there's only so much I can keep. I don't remember what this is all about. Go back to. I just. Ms. Maxwell's closet. Ms. Maxwell's closet. Sean Atwood. Love you, man. You're awesome. Okay, what am I doing? Right, back to the music. Okay. Here we go. Alright, so we'll just start at the beginning again. Doesn't matter. We cycled through organically already once. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Roscoe. It's very overcast today, which is kind of good because if it wasn't, I would have the sun shining right on me, and there's no way I could do this without a fan with the sun shining right on me. Maybe we'll get a jet flyover today. A couple days ago, we had two jets, fighter jets, fly over. Because I'm at the very northern top of Manhattan. And I'm by Jersey, and there is a military base that's nearby in Jersey. And once in a while they'll run, training exercises and all that shit. So, it's not entirely unusual, but I have lived here going on 4 years, and it's happened, I don't know, maybe, not including like the July 4th flyover. I saw that too, the stealth. Let me tell you, that was fucking frightening to look up. And then I think it was a big B-52, like one of these huge, there's another one. It wasn't pleasant. It didn't impress me. It didn't impress me at all. So, you know what? I'm going to have to turn this fan on. Hold on. Music break. reputation, Roscoe, isn't he? Hopefully these are far enough away. Oh shit, you know what? I'll be right back. Okay. So hopefully, my thinking is I move the fans, so hopefully it won't too much not distraction, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, okay. I still haven't eaten, by the way. I seem to have an appetite. Gee, I wonder why. I am drinking coffee, though, with heavy cream and cayenne and turmeric and spices, so that's kind of like food, right? All right. Okay, so what does Roscoe have to say for himself? I don't know about you, but I'm actually very, not excited, but very, very curious to find out what this is all about. You know what, that's going to get annoying, that sound. Sorry. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm just on the fly, figuring this shit out as I go. All right. Okay. This is my General Lee seat. I enter it like Bo and Luke entered General Lee. All right. Okay. Oh God, those fans help so much. I hope the noise isn't too bad. All right. Oh, just so you know. Just so you understand. Marine warning. All right. So this is New York right now. Oops, there. Anyway, okay. So 90 degrees, feels like 91. It's very humid. Okay. Oh. Alright. Okay. So, back to England. We are in London now. The deposition of Ross Gow. In the case between Virginia L. Gouffre, applicant, and Ross Gow, respondent. It's a civil case. Again. Whoops. Wrong button. It's a civil case. Okay. So it's it's somehow it's connected to her case against Virginia or against Ghislane, because that's also here as part of the caption. Okay. Okay. Friday, November 18, 2016, at 8:27 a.m. Taken at Essex Chambers 29, 81 Chancery Lane, London, UK. Court reporter, accredited real-time reporter. That must be a UK thing. I wonder what that means. A real-time reporter. What would that be? What would that be? If anybody's English out there who can explain that to me. All right, doesn't matter. Okay, so page 12 is the first page that we come to. Answer. No, I have not. When you met her last night, did she assist you in preparation for this deposition? No. Did she tell you anything about this case? When you met her last night. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure. Okay. So it seems as if he's a buddy of Ghislane. The fact that she wouldn't be talking about that is downright unbelievable. Okay. When you met her last night, did she assist you? So this is the very first thing we see. Did she assist you in preparation for this deposition? No. Did she tell you anything about this case? No. Do you know Ghislane Maxwell? I do know Ms. Maxwell, yes. How did you meet her? So unfortunately, it doesn't say who is on this cover page. They don't give you any information of who is the attorneys of record, who during the deposition. None of that. So I don't know. It sounds as if it's one of Virginia's attorneys who are asking the question here. She probably has. Yeah, she's got to have an attorney. Yeah, obviously she has a separate attorney in England for this. I mean, I'm sure they coordinate, but all right, because I think it's connected to her case against Ghislane. No, okay. And when you met her, talk about no. Did she tell you anything? Do you know Ghislane Maxwell? I do know Ms. Maxwell, yes. How did you meet her? I met her in the offices of Devonshire's law firm on or around March 2011. So your first meeting was in person. First meeting was in person, yes. Had you spoken to her prior to that? I believe that the very first engagement was, I was introduced to her by my chairman, Brian Basham, but I believe the first words we had were in the Devonshire law office. Did Ms. Maxwell retain the services of you or your firm? Yes, she did. Remember, he from that little bit I read, he's like a, reputation fixer or whatever. Maybe this is a defamation suit against him by Virginia. That could be it. Because Ghislane is going around calling Virginia a total liar. Like the evil cunt that she is. All right. Did Ms. Maxwell retain the services of you or your firm? Yes, she did. And was that in March of 2011? It was. Do you have a written agreement? We did have a written agreement, but I can no longer locate that agreement. Was that agreement ever renewed? It was renewed, I believe, on or around the beginning of January 2015, potentially the 2nd of January via email. Was the agreement... I should eat some of these. Was the agreement revised when it was renewed? Was the agreement revised when it was renewed? It wasn't revised. It was a straightforward reestablishment of the original agreement. Is it your belief that the agreement was in effect on January 2nd, 2015? Okay, it sounds like this is one of Virginia's attorneys questioning him. Okay. Is it your belief that the agreement was in effect on January 2nd, 2015? Yes. Do you recall the terms of that agreement? Well, it was a reestablishment of an existing agreement. So if we go back to the original agreement, it was to provide public relations services to Ms. Maxwell in the matter of Gouffre and her activities. So specifically, I guess by and her activities, it means Maxwell's activities, but specifically also, yeah, okay, I think I see who this guy is. Oh, here we go. Okay, Ms. Schultz is, I guess, Virginia's attorney in England. I'm marking as Exhibit 2 a document labeled GM, probably for Ghislane Maxwell, 00068. Exhibit 2 was marked for identification. Mr. Dyer. What's that? Who's Mr. Dyer? I wonder. Remember, this is England, so I'm not even gonna attempt to do a British accent, but I'm sure you can imagine. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. All right. I'm trying to figure out whose attorney. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. It looks like Virginia has two attorneys there. Ms. Schultz and Mr. Dyer are both, I think, they're both Virginia's attorneys. Okay, so here we go. So we're talking about the agreement, the contract between Gow for when Ghislane retained his services as a reputation fixer, and I can only assume that entailed attacking Virginia and defaming her and all that evil shit. Okay. All right. Ms. Schultz, I'm marking as Exhibit 2 a document labeled marked for identification. Mr. Dyer, talking to the witness. Mr. Dyer, why don't you start making a pile of them, Mr. Gow, because it may be that later on you'll be asked to go back to them. Yes, sir. Mr. Dyer, you don't have copies for me of these documents? Ms. Schultz, you don't have copies? Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Dyer. I think Dyer is Ghislane. No. No, I think Schultz, Ms. Schultz is Ghislane's attorney. See, that's why it's so helpful. These, the American ones, they have, it says, who's appearing for who, and I mean, look, the fact of the matter is these documents are not created for the public's use. They're created for within, and, although there's not usually a lot of assumptions in the law, but this is England after all, so, wow, they got timestamps on the lines, too. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. See, I don't know if you can see, but over here, on this side here, it's time stamped. So if somebody took like a 30-second pause before answering, it'll show. And that can say a lot, that can tell you, like, if somebody immediately answers or they had to think about it for a few seconds or whatever, or they were taken aback by the question and then it took them a moment to, like, you can see it in the time. God, we should do that. That's, wow. Maybe, that's probably what the real time, that's what the real time thing is all about. Yeah. That's exactly what that is. Wow. God, America should do that. Okay. All right. So I think Schultz is Ghislane's attorney and Dyer is Virginia's. So it's Ms. Schultz and Mr. Dyer. Okay. Maybe it'll become clear as we continue. Okay. I should start making a pile of them, Mr. Gao, because it may be that later on you'll be asked to go back to them. Excuse me. Yes, sir. You don't have copies for me for these documents? So Dyer is talking to Schultz right now. You don't have copies for me of these documents? You don't have copies for me of these documents? Okay. You don't have copies for me of these documents that are being entered into the record as exhibits. Ms. Schultz, I do not have any more copies on that. No. It's much more important that just for the purpose of following things, it's easier. Yeah, God, having this timestamp there, fucking genius. That's just so fucking awesome. All right. No, it's much more important that just for the purpose of following things, it's easier. God, I don't know. Fuck, now. So Schultz is questioning him. All right. So Schultz again. Still, I feel so stupid right now. I'm not being able to figure out who's for who at this point. Whose attorney is who? Okay. So Schultz doesn't have any more copies of the document which is the agreement between Gao and Ghislaine. That's the copies that he's asking for, that Dyer is asking for. She doesn't have copies. And he's saying, which is true, it's easier, to follow things if you have it in front of you to reference. That's why when, she was at, how much money did you make? Where did you work? Well, if you have the documents, just show it to her. Just for the purpose of following things, it's easier. Okay, and then by Miss Schultz. Oh, fuck, I keep hitting the power button. So Ms. Schultz asks, is Ross at acuityreputation.com your email address? It is my business email, yes. Did you send the email depicted in this document? Yes, I did. Did you send it on January 2nd, 2015? I believe I did. When you sent that email, were you acting pursuant to Ms. Maxwell's retention of your services? Yes, I was. Could you please tell me everything you know about Virginia Roberts Gouffre? Oh, Menninger is there. Wow. Huh. So if Menninger is there... Oh, no. I wonder, because it looks like there's a separate case between Virginia and Gao. Because I wonder if Menninger is there for Ghislaine. I wonder if her American lawyers would... But no, I don't think American lawyers could argue unless they have... If they're licensed, and I don't know how that works. All right, anyway, so Menninger, our friend... our cunt counselor, Menninger... Oh, okay. Oh, since she's objecting. Oh, okay, so here we go. All right, so Schultz... Okay. So Schultz is there for Virginia. Schultz is there for Virginia. Menninger is there for Ghislaine. Gao must have his own attorney there because he is the the subject of a lawsuit himself. But this deposition is not related to his lawsuit, the one that he's named in. But I think those two are... See, that's why this shit is so... It's like such a mindfuck, right? Because there's like so many and all this legal shit, and it's like, wait, what? Who the... You know, how the fuck are we layman? Like, what, you know? All we know is... All right, okay, so Schultz is definitely there for Virginia. I'm not quite sure about Dyer yet. Maybe Dyer is... Oh. Okay, I think Dyer is probably Gow's attorney in England. So, yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I think Dyer is Gow's attorney. Yeah, okay. All right, when you sent that email, were you acting pursuant to Ms. Maxwell's retention of your services? Yes, I was. Could you please tell me everything you know? What the hell kind of question is that? I know that's her attorney, but it's a weird question. Could you please tell me everything? Oh, because if it's for... Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense, yeah. Could you please tell me everything you know about Virginia Roberts Gouffre? Ms. Manager, objection, foundation, and form. Mr. Dyer, you may answer. So, yeah, Dyer is Gow's attorney. Dyer is Gow's attorney. But, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. I am now certain that's what's going on here. So, Mr. Dyer is Gow's own attorney. Now, Dyer, we won't... You know, if we have this whole deposition transcript, Dyer would never ask any questions because he's not in this case that this deposition is for. He's almost definitely Gow's attorney in the case that Virginia has against him in England. So obviously he's going to be present anytime his client is, you know, being deposed, especially in a matter that is pretty much directly related to the matter that he is defendant in, you know. Okay, or respondent. All right, you may answer. So, by Ms. Schultz, Virginia's attorney. You testified earlier that you were retained, Mr. Dyer. Are you withdrawing that question? Ms. Schultz. No, I'm not. Please. I am. No, I'm... Oh, I see. Okay. Are you withdrawing that question? No, I'm not... Please. Please. I am withdrawing that question. All right. I am withdrawing that question. Ms. Schultz. You testified previously that you were retained to handle matters relating to Virginia Roberts Gouffre. Is that correct? Correct. Okay. So you are aware of who Ms. Roberts Gouffre is? I am. Okay. Please tell me everything you know about Virginia Roberts Gouffre, please. I see what's... Yeah, interesting. Manager, objection, foundation form, and may call for privileged materials. Oh, all right. By Ms. Schultz, question you can answer to the extent... To the extent that anything you testify to is not protected by a privilege. You can answer to the extent that anything you testify to is not protected by a privilege. Answer. Ms. Roberts first came to my attention on or around March 2011 when I was called into a meeting with Philip Barden and Ms. Maxwell at Devonshire's law office that Ms. Gouffre had made extremely unpleasant allegations against Ms. Maxwell's private life. We were, Acuity Reputation, my firm, was called in to protect Ms. Maxwell's reputation and to set the record straight. That work commenced on or around March of 2011. What do you mean by, quote, set the record straight, unquote? Ms. Gouffre's allegations about Ms. Maxwell were, we believe, and to this day continue to believe, untrue, defamatory, and fantastical. And with Devonshire's lawyers, we set about crafting a statement which would put Ms. Maxwell's point of view across that Ms. Gouffre's allegations were untrue and, frankly, abhorrent. What advice did you give Ms. Maxwell? Oh, Miss Maxwell. What advice did you give Miss Maxwell as part of your retention? This is interesting. So far, there's no jumps. We might have this entire thing. I don't know. Frankly abhorrent. It reminds me of that shit that Dershowitz said about, what was that word? What was that word that just triggered me? I think it was last night or yesterday. Well, everything was yesterday. Shit, I don't remember. But frankly, abhorrent. What advice did you give Miss Maxwell as part of your retention? It is standard procedure in cases where it's understood that a party may be defaming one's client that one puts out a statement correcting those allegations and providing a clearer picture of where the truth lies. You know, they always say the truth lies somewhere in the middle. There's your story, there's my truth, there's your truth, and the real truth somewhere in the middle. Because it was very much our counsel that Ms. Maxwell put out a statement vehemently denying the allegations. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. When you testify that Ms. Gouffre, I'm going to refer to her by just her married name, came to your attention at that March 2011 meeting at Devonshire's with Mr. Barden and Ms. Maxwell, correct? And you learned about her at that meeting. Is that correct? And you learned about her at that meeting. Is that correct? Correct. Fuck. You know, I fucking jinxed it. I was like, oh, we haven't jumped. And now we jump. So, we go from page, fucking fuck. Like 20 pages. 16 to 31. God damn it. All right. So it looks like it's an attorney talking, probably still Schultz. So top of the page, remaining. So, because of the timestamp, I can tell you it's a span of almost 20 minutes. Almost exactly 21 minutes. We go bottom of page, what did I say? What was that? Bottom of page, it should have page numbers at the top and bottom. Bottom of page 16 is at 8:39:18, and the top of page 31 is at 8:58:14. So we know 21 minutes have gone by between these two pages. God, that's fucking brilliant. God, we should do that. I don't know. We should do that. That is just so amazing. Okay, so remaining, so, I wonder if they're talking about the time remaining, I don't know, they're usually not, they're not on a clock, usually, I don't know, maybe they are in England. Alright, I've marked as Exhibit 3, RG, Roberts Gouffre. Oh! So that, I got it. The GM, Exhibit GM, that was... No, but that was Schultz doing that. Who said that? That was Schultz. Oh, here. Yeah, so Schultz... Oh, I see. Oh, I got it. Okay. The document is labeled GM68, which means it's a part of Ghislane's defense documentation. Like, discovery. It came from Ghislane's side, so that's why it's GM. And then this next one is RG, because it's evidence or documentation that came from Virginia's side. Okay, I understand now. All right. Where were we? Okay, so this is Schultz talking. I've marked as Exhibit 3 RG. Okay, RG02. Do you recognize this email? I do. Did you receive this email? I did, on New Year's Day 2015. Did you contact Ms. Maxwell after receiving this email? I did. Did you make any response to Mr. Ball in any form? Do we know who Mr. Ball is? Do you guys know him? I don't know. I did. Can you tell me what response you made? Well, the response to Mr. Ball was part of a series of responses having spoken to my client within 24 hours or so. We got back to Mr. Ball with an agreed statement which went out to a number of media. When you say, quote, agreed statement, unquote, can you tell me more about what you mean? Who agreed to the statement? I need to give you some context, if I may, about that statement. Oh, yes, thank you. Context. So, this is on New Year's Day. I was in France, so the email time here of 21:46, and French time was 22:46. It's just so military time, so 9:46 p.m. in France was 10:46 p.m. And I was getting up early the next day, the next morning, to drive my family back from the south of France to England, which is a 14-hour journey door to door. So on the morning of the 2nd of January, bearing in mind that Ms. Maxwell, I think, was in New York then, in 2015, she was in New York in 2015. Oof. I often wonder if I'd ever seen her before I knew who she was. Not that I spent a lot of time on the Upper East Side. So on the morning of the 2nd of January, bearing in mind that Ms. Maxwell, I think, was in New York then, she was 5 hours behind. So there was quite a lot of sort of time difference between the various countries here. I sent her an email, I believe, forwarding this email to her saying, how do you wish to proceed? And then I was on the telephone. I had two telephones in the car. I received in excess of 30 phone calls from various media outlets on the second. What the hell is this? 2015. Well, I guess because, maybe it was when she first filed against Ghislaine. I received in excess of 30 phone calls from various media outlets on the 2nd of January, all asking for information about how Ms. Maxwell was looking to respond to the latest court filings, which were filed on the 30th of December, as I understand. Okay. I see. Okay. And by close towards close of play on the 2nd, probably maybe close of work days, what that means, and towards close of play on the 2nd, I received an email forwarded by Ms. Maxwell containing a draft statement, which my understanding was the majority of which had been drafted by Mr. Barden, with a header along the lines of, quote, this is the agreed statement, unquote, at close of play on the 2nd. Close of play, I think, means like close of the work day. So I had gone under the Channel Tunnel, I had gone under the Channel Tunnel, and I was sitting on the other side, and that email, which my understanding, I had gone under the Channel Tunnel, so he had, which connects France to England. So he was sitting on the other side, so he'd probably gotten back into England. And I was sitting on the other side, and that email, which my understanding was that it had been signed off by the client, Ghislaine, effectively, was then sent out to a number of media, including Mr. Ball and various other UK newspapers. Oh, Ball, okay. Oh, okay, so it must have been an email. Ball must be some media public. The name sounds familiar. You know, it'd be funny. You know how David Pecker is the National Enquirer? It'd be funny if Mr. Ball is like the Mirror, or like the equivalent of the Enquirer, the National Enquirer. You got Ball and Pecker. Oh God! Oh my God! I gotta laugh. Okay. I don't know who Mr. Ball is. All right, I don't feel like going to the internet to find out right now. All right. Having signed out effectively was then sent out to a number of media, including Mr. Ball and various other UK. Sometimes, look, whatever. Including Mr. Ball and various other UK newspapers. Mr. Gow, when you say, quote, end of play, unquote, and, quote, close of play, quote, are you referring to sending the email that's Exhibit 2? Yes, I am. My understanding is that it went to people other than those listed. Yes, that is just a sample. Whoops, hold on. Wait, no, okay, so I think I may have been wrong about Dyer because although I guess he has leave, I mean, he can obviously speak on his client's behalf. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was Mr. Dyer. It was Mr. Dyer who's asking the questions from the top. I'm gonna have to find out when I'm done with this. Find out exactly what this is all about. I mean, I may have been able to glean a little bit, but okay. So we have Dyer. I think it's been Dyer asking these questions, starting on page 31. Are you referring to sending the email that's Exhibit 2? Yes, I am. Mr. Dyer, my understanding... Fuck, I don't know. I don't know who's been saying what. My understanding is... So, Mr. Dyer, my understanding is that it went to people other than those listed. Yes, that is... And then Dyer, just a sample. Oh, he finished his sentence for him. Yes, that is just a sample. That is a sample. Everyone who effectively, well, the detail on this, I was driving, so my eldest son is in the back. Oh, okay. Well, the detail on this, I was driving, so my eldest son in the back had my Blackberry. Oh, he had his son helping him out with this? What the fuck? Hey, son, can you help me in my crafting a defense for this child rapist? She's come to join the party. All right. Hello. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, so he completes the sentence for him. My understanding is that it went to people other than those listed. Yes, that is just a sample. That is a sample. Everyone who effectively, well, the detail on this, I was driving, so my eldest son is in the back. Oh, so my eldest son in the back had my Blackberry and was trying to capture. It was a pretty chaotic day. Most people in the UK were on holiday. In fact, it was a holiday weekend. Our office was closed. My PA was on holiday, so my son was basically doing an internship in the back of the car, downloading the names of the callers from various media outlets. And so we had a list of those. So when I got to the car park at the end of the Eurotunnel thing in the UK, I had numerous names, so the email went out to a wide range of people. But the 30 or so calls I had is an aggregate number. So there might have been 5 calls from the BBC. Oh, all right, we got another jump. So we go from 903 to 919. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to, the page numbers are relevant. Well, I mean, just to give you an idea. So 903, So it may have been 5 calls from the BBC is at 9:03, and then 10 more seconds is at 9:19. So almost 20 minutes in 11 pages. Okay. So 10 more seconds. Miss Schultz, understood, and I apologize. Oh, God, sorry. Understood, and I apologize. I don't know what that 10 moment, what that was. Oh, now we have Mr. Spearman. A lot of attorneys here. Sorry, barristers, right? They're barristers. I think there's a difference. I don't know. I know there's a I don't know. I think barristers are the ones who actually do argue. I don't know. They're all barristers. I know there's a little bit more semantics with the names over there, I think. All right. So I'm not sure who 10 more seconds belongs to, but 10 more seconds. And then Ms. Schultz, understood, and I apologize. Mr. Spearman, this is what, Exhibit 9? Mr. Dyer, yes. Ms. Schultz, yes. Exhibit 9 was marked for identification. Ms. Schultz, who I'm pretty sure is Ghislane's. I think I can, is Virginia's. I think, sorry. I think I can say that with confidence. I think I can say with confidence that Schultz is Virginia's attorney. Okay. So he's looking at email. It's a printout of the email. Okay. This also appears to be an email chain with you and Ms. Maxwell. Is that correct? It does appear to be so. It does appear to be so. Did you send the did you it's right in front of you. Did you send the top mail of the chain of the did you send the top mail of the chain that says OKG? That's probably what I wonder if that's what Jeff called her. G. I wonder if that's what her friends call G. I know G Max. I know she's a fan of G Max. I wonder if they called her G. All right. Did you send the top email of the chain that says quote OKG going with this unquote? I did. And did you receive from Ms. Maxwell the bottom email of that chain? I believe so. Well, I believe, yes. Yeah, it was forwarded from Ms. Maxwell, yes. It was forwarded from Ms. Maxwell, yes. Mr. Dyer, sorry, I don't quite understand that answer. Oh, so maybe Dyer is friend. Huh. Sorry, I don't quite understand that answer. I misspoke that. I did receive it from I understood what he was saying. He was saying that, the email that is referenced wasn't written by Ghislaine. She forwarded it. It was something probably that somebody, maybe one of the press wrote to her, and then she forwarded. So, but, oh, you know what? Oh, no. Dyer, I think, is Gao's attorney. And he said that to clarify it in the record because it could be confusing, and he recognized that. And so when he said, "Sorry, I don't quite understand that question," he gave his client an opportunity to clarify what he meant. Wow, god damn, Jesus. Okay, just the job of being an attorney like that. My God. I misspoke that. I did receive it from Ms. Maxwell. Mr. Dyer. Okay. By Ms. Schultz. Question. The subject line does have, quote unquote, forward, which to me indicates it's a forward. So she's basically saying, that wasn't necessary. Obviously it was a forward. Okay. Do you know where the rest of this email chain is? Do you know where? Yeah, do you know where the rest of this email chain is? My understanding of this is it was a holiday in the UK, but Mr. Barden was not necessarily accessible at some point in time. Mr. Barden is Ghislaine's mouthpiece or advisor or whatever, but, works for Ghislaine. But Mr. Barden was not necessarily accessible at some point in time. So this had been sent to him originally by Ms. Maxwell, and because he was unavailable, she forwarded it to me for immediate action. I therefore respond, quote, "Okay, Ghislaine, I'll go with this," unquote. It is my understanding that this is the agreed statement because the subject of the second one is, quote, "urgent, this is the statement," unquote. So I take that as an instruction to send it out as a positive command, quote, "this is the statement," unquote. Okay. And I say, quote, "Thanks, Philip," unquote, because I'm aware of the fact that he had a considerable hand in the drafting. Probably Philip Bowden, or Barden. Considerable hand in the drafting. Question. Okay, could I ask you to please refer back to Exhibit 2? Looking also at Exhibit 9. Exhibit 9 appears to have 5 sentences in it. Do you agree that those same 5 sentences are part of the communication that is born in Exhibit 2? Sorry, could you say that again? I'm just following what you're... It was a bad question. Let me try that again. Fuck. Damn it! Fuck. Another jump. Alright, so we go from 9:22 to 9:54, so half an hour, a little over half an hour. Page 45 to page 64, almost 20 pages. Alright. It was a bad question. Let me try that again, and we never find out if she made it better. Okay. Alright, question. Okay. Have you ever communicated anything regarding Ms. Gouffre's criminal allegations to the press or the media? As part of a wider conversation about her unsavory allegations about Ms. Maxwell, it's possible that I might have done, but I can't recall the detail, I'm afraid. Do you remember discussing that with the Guardian? Do you remember discussing that with the Guardian? No, I don't. I'm not saying I didn't, but I can't recall. You have to bear in mind, if you'd be so kind, that I've been speaking to over 30 journalists and media outlets about this, and I can't recall the detail of every single conversation. Fair enough. Earlier, you testified with regard to Exhibit 2 that in the days following sending that email, you also communicated with other press and media outlets. Do you recall today any of the other press and media outlets you communicated with, in addition to those listed at the time? So this is obviously the defamation, yeah. Okay, do you recall today any of the other press and media outlets you communicated with, in addition to those listed at the top of that email? The Guardian, The Sun, from the top of my memory, but in addition to emails, there would have been telephone calls, and there may not be a transcript of those calls. These are emails inter alia, others. What is that phrase again? Inter alia. I think it means one of many. I think that's what it is the emails is just one of many others, and I can't recall. Yeah, there are emails inter alia, others, and I can't recall every single email. And then we jump again. 2 minutes. Weird. Not weird. So 5 pages, or 1 page. And I can't recall every single email that, okay, and then, so it's only 2 minutes. Top line, from John Swain. From John Swain. Answer, I believe I did. That's all the questions I have about that document. Thank you. Regarding communications you made after sending the email, in Exhibit 2, I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you testified that you received 30 or more calls that would classify as press inquiries regarding Ms. Gouffre. Is that correct? Yes. Do you recall emailing the statement to other entities beyond what is on the list on Exhibit 2? Yes, I think I answered that previously. Yes, I mean, I said inter alia, so there's a wider range of people that I would have emailed it to in response to incoming queries. sorry, I can't remember every single one. Do you recall ever reading the statement to the press or the media over the phone? It's very possible that I would have done so, yes. Do you recall ever reading the statement to the press or the media over the phone? It's very possible that I would have done so, yes. Do you mean Exhibit 2 is what Mr. Dyer interjects? So he's just trying to get on the same page, literally. Do you mean Exhibit 2? Yes, Exhibit 2. The witness. To be clear, Exhibit 2 was the base document. To be clear, Exhibit 2 was the base document, Ms. Schultz. Gao, in addition to the 2011 March statement, I'll leave it like that instead. Okay, in addition to the 2011 March statement, those were the, in addition to the 2011 March statement, those were the two working documents that were always referred to, both of which, well, the first one was in a public domain and was on the record on the Devonshires, with the Devonshires name at the top on PR Newswire. Yeah, that was another temp job I had, was working at a PR firm. It wasn't that small, that was a weird job. As a temp, that was a weird, I got a little insight into how this shit works. With Devonshire's name at the top on PR Newswire, which is a global delivery service. So that was easily accessible by people. And the second one was further to the 2nd of January 2015. Ms. Schultz, to the extent you can recall or could estimate, how many other emails do you believe you sent bearing that statement that's in Exhibit 2? I really can't remember, but certainly more than 6 and probably less than 30, somewhere in between. So again, I think this is the statement that, Ghislane sent to him, and that other, the B-name guy, saying send this out as the statement about the new, I guess, Virginia's, or maybe it wasn't even, it must have been Virginia's. Yeah, obviously it was. How many other emails? More than 6 and probably less than 30, somewhere in between. At any time there was an incoming query, anytime there was an incoming query, it was either dealt with on the telephone by referring them back to the two statements of March 2011 and January 2015, or someone would email them the statement. So no one was left unanswered, broadly, is where we are. But I can't remember every single person we reached out to. Okay, so is it your testimony that you reached out to individuals who did not first contact you? So is it your testimony that you reached out to individuals who did not first contact you? No, we were in response mode. Okay. There was enough to do responding to incoming queries. I wouldn't have been making more work, to be honest. Right. All right. So Mr. Dyer, so journalists paid no attention to your, quote, no further communication will be provided on the matter. And then he says, yeah, Dyer's definitely Gao's attorney, and he's throwing him these softballs so he can, yeah. I wish I knew more about, like I said, I don't know everything. So if anybody wants to comment or whatever about, unless it becomes clear later on, I don't know. But I don't know what went down with this. I mean, I know Ghislane and Dershowitz are just disgusting people, and we're saying awful shit. But all right. So journalists paid no attention to your no further communication will be provided on the matter, meaning that they kept coming at you for more statements. No, that's quite correct, sir. And there probably was it's regarded as tweaking their tails. by Ms. Schultz. Mr. Gao, I'm handing you what I've marked as Exhibit 14. The Bates number is Bates number is a document counting like page number thing. I think it's a way to keep legal documents in order. Roberts Giffray, UK 004, which means it's an early one. Oh god, that feels good. There's a breeze coming in from outside. All right. It's regarded as tweaking their tails. Mr. Gao, I'm handing you what I've marked as Exhibit 14. I'll give you a moment to look at it. Exhibit 14 was marked for identification. No? I know. I'm all sweaty. I wouldn't sit on me either. All right. I love my cat so much, if you can't tell. All right. Okay. Exhibit 14. I'll give you a moment to look at it. Ms. Schultz. So let's see how long the moment was. 17:04. So about 30 seconds. Okay. Ms. Schultz. Question. Thank you. Toward the top of the page, there is a passage that reads, apologies, should read Virginia Roberts all the way through. And then, as read. Oh, probably they were flipping between Virginia Roberts Giffray, Virginia Giffray. That's probably what that was. Toward the top of the page, there is a passage that reads, apologies, should read Virginia Roberts all the way through, unquote, as read. Fuck. And we jump, over an hour, almost an hour and a half. Almost an hour and a half of deposition, so that's from page 68 to page 109. All right. So it looks like we're coming in at the end of an answer. Oh, talking about what he does. Yeah, this is talking about what his job entails, what his services. Servicing sea tiles. No, that's not what it says. Servicing ultra high net worth clients. People that shouldn't fucking exist. Look, I'm all for capitalism. I really am. I'm all for everybody, being able to do what they can based on their skills and, but there's no reason billionaires should ever exist. Billionaires should never. They just shouldn't exist. Humans can't be trusted. Not yet. We haven't evolved. All right. Servicing ultra high net worth clients, individuals, corporates, governments, and NGOs. I hate that term, NGO. Managing their media relations and protecting their reputation. Approximately how long have you been providing such services? Acuity was set up in 2010. Exhibit 26 was marked for identification. Ms. Schultz, I'm going to hand you what I've marked as Exhibit 26. Thank you. Does this document fairly depict pages from Acuity Reputation's website? It does. Do you see where it says, quote, we manage reputation and forge opinion through public relations. Forge opinion. Forge opinion. Let that sink in. I love the languages I love the words they choose. It just, Jesus. Forge opinion. It's like extraordinary rendition. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. All right. I do. Is that a true statement? Say it again. Sorry. It's like Epstein. I'm like, I don't. Can you spell it? Roberts, Roberts. Jesus. Is that a true statement? Say it again. Sorry. So say it again. Sorry. No, there was no question mark at the end. Is that a true statement? It is. Yes, I wrote that statement. Mr. Dyer, sorry, you read it or you wrote it? I wrote it, so I do recognize it. Ms. Schultz. I wrote it, so I do recognize it. Question, Ms. Schultz. Is it correct that public relations and strategic communications are things that you personally do as part of your professional activities? I'm involved in public relations and strategic communications. Yeah, strategic communications. God, I fucking hate this shit, man. You know, I remember a time when the term your brand only meant Kraft or Procter and Gamble. I hate this. I hate the way society is right now. I fucking hate it with a passion. I hate it. I hate it so much. All right. Is it correct that public relations and strategic communications are things that you personally do as part of your professional activities? I'm involved in public relations and strategic communications. Yes. Is it correct that the media and is it correct that the media is the intended recipient of this strategic communications? It's a larger ground than just the media. There may be lobbyists. It's another thing that needs to be eradicated completely. At least money. At least when it comes to having them given money. There may be lobbyists, government think tanks, focus groups, government departments. God, this guy. he's the monster. He's the monster's publicist. That's what he is. He's the monster's publicist. This guy. Gao. Jesus. All right, focus group, government departments. Would it be fair to say that the media is often the intended recipient of strategic communications? Would it be fair to say that the media is often oh, I see. Okay. Oh, okay, she's making it, okay, I see. Right, yeah. So her first question made it sound as if it was only for the media. So then she rephrases her question to be more inclusive than for just the media. So would it be fair to say that the media is often the intended recipient of strategic communications? It is a frequent recipient, referent recipient, but not the sole recipient. Okay. Do you see where your website claims that your company has, quote, excellent relationships with the media, unquote? I do. Is that a true statement? That is true, yeah. And then Mr. Dyer comes in, except Mr. Sison. Sison is. Alright, you know what? Just to get some context, I'm going to look up this guy's name. Alright, Sison Gao. right, I don't have to. I'll figure it out. Okay, if anybody knows who Sison is and what is... I'm guessing he's a publisher or something, or an editor, managing editor, maybe, I don't know. Maybe a reporter, I don't know. Okay. That is true, yeah, except Mr. Sison, as Mr. Dyer interjects, the witness. Except Mr. Sison, sir. Ms. Schultz, of course. And representatives of the Daily Mirror. Robert was the Mail, right? Or was he the Mirror? No, I think... I gotta clarify this one for... I always forget. I think it was the Mirror, because I remember thinking to myself, Mirror, of course, he would own that. Yeah, so it was the Mirror. The Mirror Group. Right, yeah. So he was Murdoch. I mean, I know this already, but it's just... Alright, you know what? Okay. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit in a bit. Alright, wait, hold on. So, apparently, oops. Taking a break here for a sec. Apparently, dogs can smell COVID. They've got a nose for this. Lotta the Labrador, far left, and Eric Jr., the Belgian Malinois, oh god, those dogs are so incredible, are among the dogs in a German study that were able to detect COVID-19 in human saliva with 94% accuracy. Jesus. Wow. Man's best friend, you know what, I'm just going to read this just for a break. Man's best friend could soon be man's best chance at ever setting foot in a stadium again. Dogs can sniff out the coronavirus with an incredible 94% accuracy rate, raising the possibility of instant tests. Hey, I don't mind getting tested by a dog. You fucking kidding me? I'll do that. I trust a dog. I trust a fucking dog. Dogs can sniff out the coronavirus with an incredible 94% accuracy rate, raising the possibility of instant tests at sporting events and airports, according to a new study. Canine handlers trained 8 dogs from the German armed forces to discern human saliva infected with COVID-19 from healthy saliva in the study, led by Germany's University of Veterinary Medicine Hanover and the Hanover Medical School. Researchers then set up samples from 1,000 people at random, ordered the dogs to pinpoint the infected ones, and found the animals were accurate 94% of the time. Oh, shit. Scientists suspect the pooches were able to make the potentially life-saving distinction between the illness... Scientists suspect the pooches were able to make the life-saving distinction because the illness, quote, completely changes, unquote, an infected person's internal chemistry, giving their spit a different scent. Spit, saliva, spit. We think that the dogs are able to detect a specific smell of the metabolic changes that occur in those patients. said Maren von Kekritz Blickweed, a university professor who conducted the study. The dogs were trained for just a week before learning to pick up the scent of the virus. Wow. Dogs can smell up to 10,000 times more powerfully and accurately than humans and have shown the ability in past studies to be able to detect malaria and types of cancer. Wow. Fuck. I don't mind being tested if that entails a dog coming up to me. I don't mind. Wow. All right, back to this. Okay. All right. So apparently Dyer or Gao has some issues with also people at the Mirror, ironically enough. Of course, and representatives of the Daily Mirror. Is it, and then Ms. Schultz, is it correct that you advertise your, quote, excellent relationships with the media, unquote, because your services often include giving communications to the media on behalf of your clients? Yes. Ms. Schultz, that's all I have for right now. Mr. Dyer, I just wanted to ask you one question about Exhibit 25. All right. Wait, well, I don't know. This was the email from the New York Daily News to which you sent... Oh, to you, I see, okay. All right, so Mr. Dyer. So, okay, so he must be... All right, yeah, he's got to be... Yeah, so Dyer is definitely on Dow's team. Mr. Dyer, I just wanted to ask you one question about Exhibit 25. This was the email from the New York Daily News to you, which you sent on to Ms. Maxwell and Mr. Barton. Okay. Yes. Do you recollect whether you were asked to make any statement in response to this matter, the issue of proceedings? The issue of proceedings in September of last year? I don't, sir. It's always been the case that Mr. Barton and I were encouraging Ms. Maxwell to make a statement. She was very reluctant to do so. Yeah, because that's the thing. The more you give attention to it, the more it grows. And because Ghislane herself knows it's true, she would rather hopefully just let it die out than give it power by addressing it, by specifically speaking to it, right? So it's no surprise that she was reluctant to make a statement. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I wonder if that is affecting the sound. All right. But she was very reluctant to do so. Right. I think you've got him to accept that up until sometime. Right. Okay, so Dyer is, when he says him, he's talking about Gao. Yeah, Dyer's definitely... Okay, so... Dyer, do you recollect whether you were asked to make any statement in response to this matter, the issue of proceedings in September of last year? I don't, sir. It's always been the case that Mr. Barton and I were encouraging Ms. Maxwell to make a statement, but she was very reluctant to do so. Right. So I think now... Dyer is now talking to Schultz. Right. I think you've got him to accept that up until sometime March 11, right. I think you've got him to accept that up until sometime March, April, May, he may have spoken to Mr. Sison. And that was the last statement that there's any evidence of him making about this matter. Him being Gao. But on the evidence, as I understand it, That's it. Oh, oh, that's his whole name. His whole name is Ross Neil Sutherland Gow. All right, so I'm gonna have to find out what this whole thing was all about. So that was interesting. That was interesting. Just for the fact of finding out that Ghislaine was hesitant to make a statement. It says a lot. It really does. It really does. It says a lot when you take into account that she's guilty, and she knows she is, and she knows exactly what she does and what she's been doing and who she works for and everything. All right. What's next? Exhibit 7. Back in the U.S. Deposition of redacted. Oh, it might be Jane Doe. It might be the Jane Doe in this. In Miami. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, I got... Okay. So it's redacted. You know what? I'm going to I want to read this. I'm just curious. The Post, the New York Post, on July 3rd, 2020. Wait a minute. When was she arrested? She was arrested after the 4th, right? She was arrested on the 6th. Fucking New York Post. Who wrote this? Emily Jacobs. Yeah, man. God, you know, that's the thing. There's so much shit happening at the back of the house. So many manipulations, so many machinations, so many... when was she... God, is that me? I gotta check the date that she was arrested. I think it was the 6th. And if it was the 6th... Okay. I don't know if anybody else has... I have She was arrested on the 5th, right? For some reason, I feel like somebody else has pointed this out already. I'm feeling this weird sense of deja vu. Not that I've been here doing this, but... So this article that I found just randomly, just now, when I was trying to find out that to verify that it was the Mirror that Robert owned, I saw this article in the New York Post called "The Story of Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's Disgraced Media Mogul Dad." So I saved it. I kept it open, thinking it'd be interesting to see what they say in the New York Post, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch and is the equivalent of the Mirror. So this was written July 3rd. And it's like the Post, it's like they knew, somebody at the Post knew that she was going to get arrested. It's just, the timing of this is really fucking weird, to say the least. The Story of Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's Disgraced Media Mogul Dad, July 3rd, 2020. 2 days before she was arrested. And then it's that picture. It's this picture. Father and daughter. God. Jesus fuck. One day somebody's going to make a movie of this. I know they are. I know they are. What a fucking role that's going to be. Whoever gets to play Ghislane. Oh my God. Whoever, if I'm sure there will be a movie, but I hope whatever movie it is, it makes it very clear that even though she was subjected to horrors as a child, she is still to be held accountable for the monster that she became. I hope it doesn't try to generate any sympathy for her. She deserves none. She deserves none. No sympathy. Not the adult. The child, yes. The adult, no. All right, so let's read this. Accused Jeffrey Epstein, madam. See, that's the thing. They're trying to make it out like A, she was just some madam, and B, that was just the two of them, and then this thing doesn't go beyond them, that it was their own thing, and it was just because they were, pedophiles, which is we know that's bullshit, right? I mean, they were or are, but it's not just them, obviously. They work for. Okay. Accused Jeffrey Epstein, madam Ghislane Maxwell, is far from the only one in her family to have led an eccentric, troubled lifestyle. Maxwell, the British socialite who was busted Thursday. The fuck? Oh, updated. How do you find the original? Wait a minute. It was updated July 3rd. Am I missing something? Oh, okay. All right, so I think it was the second. Okay, never mind. So she was arrested on the second. Oh, whoa, there's another. I never saw that picture. I mean, there was another picture of her in that gold sweater. That picture of her and Epstein, that famous picture. Okay, so all right, so now it's not quite so mysterious why that, but let's read it anyway. So it was July 2nd. Why did it say the 5th? Oh, I see where I was mistaken. Okay. Oh, I think Jeff was arrested on the 5th. Okay, so where are we? We're reading a story of Robert Maxwell. Let's see what the Post has to say about Robert Maxwell. Okay. Maxwell, the British socialite who was busted Thursday on charges she groomed underage women to have sex with the infamous pedophile. See, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to contain it all between the two of them, like it was their own little sex play, and without anything else going on. Can't trust. That's why I don't trust the media. That's why that's kind of why I'm reading these, because, and that's why I watch C-SPAN when there's congressional testimonies and impeachment, because I don't want filtered information. I trust my own self, and if I have questions after I have taken it in and processed it on my own, then I will go. But I don't like having my initial impression of things to be based on somebody else's take. You know what I mean? So that's why these are so good. I mean, it's my take, obviously, but, that's why I like just going to the source, right? Just going to the source. I love you so much. All right. Let me take this off my lap. I don't know if she likes to rub on it. I'll show you this rub on. I'll leave it. Okay. Let's see if I can move this down without disturbing her. Don't move. Don't. No. No. Don't move. No need. Don't move. No. Oh, don't go. Don't go. Okay. Accused, sex with the infamous pedophile is the youngest daughter of flamboyant, disgraced late media mogul Robert Maxwell. Disgraced late media mogul. Robert Maxwell was born into poverty in Czechoslovakia in 1923 and built... It is my understanding that nobody really knows what his actual history is. All the information we have about his his childhood days all comes from him, from what I understand. He was born into poverty in Czechoslovakia in 1923 and built a publishing empire over decades that included titles such as the New York Daily News and Mirror Group newspapers. Maxwell, built a publishing empire over decades that included titles such as the New York Daily News and Mirror Group newspapers. Before earning his fortune, Robert Maxwell escaped Nazi occupation to join the Czechoslovak army in World War II and became a decorated war hero. Robert Maxwell also spent 6 years in the British Parliament, serving as a Labour MP from 1964 to 70. The newspaper giant was estimated to be worth $1.9 billion at the height of his career. This is a picture they show of him. Ghislane's daddy. Ghislane's sadistic daddy. He and Trump are very similar, by the way. Very similar. But Maxwell is way more intelligent and way more successful. I mean, I hate to give him that, but than Trump ever could have hoped to be. Okay. The newspaper giant was estimated to be worth $1.9 billion at the height of his career. The world learned after his death that he had been in severe financial straits and had been robbing his employees' pension funds to prop up his crumbling empire. Robert Maxwell was last seen on November 4, 1991 on his yacht. Oh, so he died in 91. On his yacht sailing past the Canary Islands off Africa. He had missed a meeting with the Bank of England that day over his defaulting on a more than $62 million loan. His naked body was recovered from the Atlantic Ocean 1 day later. Multiple pathologists disagreed on Maxwell's cause of death, but the official ruling was listed as a heart attack combined with accidental drowning. Robert Maxwell's publishing empire collapsed in the aftermath of his death when it was discovered that he had completely emptied his employee pension funds to the tune of at least $900 million in months prior. Maxwell had illegally taken the funds to prop up an empire that few knew was on the brink of total collapse, according to The Guardian. Two of Maxwell's sons, Ian and Kevin Maxwell, tried to save the company but were ultimately unsuccessful. The publishing empire filed for bankruptcy in 1992. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a photo of the happy family. There's Ghislaine right next to her father, of course. Always there at the right hand of Dad. See? There she is. I bet you every single family photo, except for that one where she's younger in the front, she is the one standing next to her father. I bet you $1 billion. She's always the one next to him. She's the only one not in a... There's some... Well, this is Kevin and Ian. There's Kevin and Ian. Gizzy's brothers. But this first one says it's that her mother is in here. I think they mistook Ghislaine for... I don't understand this picture, the label on this picture. It's weird. All right. File of bankruptcy in 1992. The fallout from Maxwell's financial dealings and his death left the family's reputation severely damaged. It wasn't his financial dealings. In 1996, Ian and Kevin Maxwell were indicted and later acquitted on fraud charges related to their roles in it. That's it. Well, that was just stupid. Yeah, they never ever. I mean, it's not surprising. It's the New York Post. The intelligence. I mean, it's beyond intelligence, but they never bring that shit up. I mean, meanwhile, Robert Maxwell, it's undeniable, and it's pretty much common knowledge. Like, from what I understand, John le Carré, the guy that wrote The Spy That Came In From the Coal, and he's a very famous kind of spy writer. It's my understanding that he actually he went to Robert for ideas. Like, he based a lot of his characters on Maxwell himself. Yet it's never talked about. God, I'm probably gonna have to stop this one soon because I need to eat something. Music. Very good, by the way. Avocado, cilantro, and lime. I found it randomly. It's not bad. Not bad. Oh my god, I'm gonna need to eat something soon. Oh my, I want it. Alright. Alright. Back to discovering the discovery. So now we have a deposition of a anonymous deponent. Maybe we'll be able to figure it out. Okay. Where we are, I think. We just started a new one. Oh, we're back in 2. Oh, it's a new movement. Oh no. It was. It was. I was right. We're in number 2. Which actually comes after 3 in this. It goes from 1 to 3 and then 2. All right. So this was June 20th, 2016, 9:12 in the morning. Deposition of redacted, taken by the plaintiff, which is Virginia. It was in Miami. Oh, we have real-time reporter too. We have I wonder what that means. Okay. It's a Jane Doe. It's a Jane Doe. It's Jane Doe. It's another survivor. Okay, so page 54 is the first page of the deposition that we have after the cover page. Mr. Edwards, question. When you got to his house, you were requested to give a massage. Mr. Pagliuca, all right, so we have, oh, it doesn't say who's, sometimes it's really, it's very inconsistent. Sometimes it gives you who's appearing, and who was present. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why it's like that. Okay. So we got Pagliuca there, and we got Edwards at the least. Okay, you were requested to give a massage. Object to foundation and form. The witness. I don't exactly remember. I don't remember if I was asked in the kitchen. I don't remember. Mr. Edwards. Massage was part of the game, though. Yeah. Pagliuca, object to form and foundation. I was expecting that one. The witness. I don't remember. I'm sorry, Mr. Edwards. But even during this deposition today, we have described at times you giving him a massage. Yes, you're asking about my first encounter, though. Sorry, I'm just trying to sum up the whole thing. Okay. Was massage part of the lure to get you specifically to his house? Was massage part of the lure to get you specifically to his house? Yes. Mr. Pagliuca, object to form and foundation. Edwards, and at the time, you are 15, 16, or 17 years old? Pagliuca, object to form and foundation. Yes. No massage experience. No. I wonder if it's Virginia. No, because she's part of the... No, so it can't be Virginia. All right. And at the time you are 15, 16, or 17 years old. Object to form and foundation. Yes. No massage experience. No. You were told to bring other girls to his house. Object to form and foundation. Witness, after a while, yes. Mr. Edwards, these massages were turned sexual by Jeffrey as opposed to by anyone else. Jeffrey took my clothes off without my consent the first time I met him. I know who this is. I forget her name, but I think I know who this is. The massages were scheduled by people working for Jeffrey? I don't recall. Object to form and foundation, and that's not as good. It's not as good. The massages were scheduled by people working for Jeffrey? I don't recall. Pagliuca, object to form and foundation. Edwards, Jeffrey Epstein, during these massages, would use sex toys or have sex toys used. Objective form and foundation. Well, at that point, it's no longer a massage. Something else is going on. But yes, he would take out adult toys and different things. While you were a teenager, Jeffrey Epstein asked you to live with him. Yes, he wanted me to be emancipated. It's got to be Virginia. Right? While you were a teenager, Jeffrey Epstein... Wait, what was the date of this? 2015? Right? Oh, 2016? Yeah. Maybe it's Jane Doe number 2. Her and Virginia shared... I know a lot of people... Okay. He wanted me to be emancipated. Question, Jeffrey Epstein encouraged girl-on-girl sex, objective form and foundation, yes. And after you cooperated with the police, you were intimidated by people working for Jeffrey Epstein, objective form and foundation, yes. Objective form and foundation, yes. All right, I don't have anything further for you. I apologize that we even had to go through this, all right? Okay. Cross-examination by Mr. Palyuka. It's not Virginia. Obviously. Okay. Examination by Mr. Palyuka. Ms. Blank. It's a kind of a short last name. My name is Jeff Palyuka. Yeah, so Jeff, right. My name is Jeff Palyuka. I live in Denver, Colorado, and like you, I don't want to be here today either, okay? Shut the fuck up, you fucker. I would rather be in Denver. I just want to, as I understand it, and I'm not trying to get into any of your treatment over the last, let's say, 10 years, because I don't know how long it's been. Over the last, let's say, 10 years, because I don't know how long it's been. But as I understand what you and your lawyer have said here, maybe it is Virginia. No. No, that wouldn't, no, okay, it can't be Virginia. It wouldn't make sense. It would be redacted if it's Virginia. It has to be a Jane Doe. It has to be a Jane Doe. Okay, I just want to, as I understand it, and I'm not trying to get into any of your treatment over the last, let's say, 10 years, because I don't know how long it's been, but as I understand what you and your lawyer have said here today, you have been involved in some number of years of therapy in which part of the purpose of the therapy has been to forget all of these events that Mr. Edwards was asking you questions about. Is that correct? That's it. It's not to forget, you stupid fuck. It's to process it. It's to process it. And to not let it ruin the rest of your life. That's what the fucking therapy is for. It's not to fucking forget. God, I hate these people. I hate these fucking people so much. Alright. What's next? Exhibit 8. In New York. In Fort Lauderdale. Sarah Kellen. Our friend, Sarah Kellen. Taken on behalf of the... Doesn't say. I think it's a clerical error, but... I don't know who it's on behalf of. Probably Virginia. I just want to see how long this is. Faded, page 15, page 20, page 199. God. Fuck, that's only 2 pages of it. Alright, whatever, we'll read it. Alright. Okay, so it's Sarah Kellen. Starts with page 15. Decline to answer. It comes in the middle at the end of a sentence, but this is decline to answer. It's no surprise that her testimony sounds exactly like Epstein's. Jesus Christ. God, I cannot wait until she gets arrested. I cannot fucking wait until she gets arrested. Who introduced you to Ghislaine Maxwell? On advice of my counsel, I must invoke my Fifth and Sixth Amendment right. I must invoke my Fifth and Sixth Amendment privilege, which I understand protect the innocent, and therefore I must unfortunately decline to answer. It's exactly like that one with Epstein. Fifth, where he just said fifth. When you met Ghislaine Maxwell, was she working for Jeffrey Epstein? On advice of my counsel, I must invoke my Fifth and Sixth Amendment privilege, which I understand protect the innocent, and therefore I must unfortunately decline to answer. She memorized that very well. Oh, she could be reading it like Jeff was. Did Ghislaine Maxwell work as a recruiter for young girls for Jeffrey Epstein when you met her? On advice of my counsel, I must invoke my Fifth and Sixth Amendment privilege, which I understand protect the innocent, and therefore I must unfortunately decline to answer. I'm defining young girls to mean females the ages 12 to 23. Do you understand that? It's a weird definition. 23 is a young girl? No. See, I don't... What is that? I mean, I understand, but you can't define a 23-year-old as a young girl. I mean, I get what he's getting at, but it's just weird. Okay, on advice of my counsel, I must invoke my Fifth and Sixth Amendment privilege, which I understand protect the innocent, and therefore I must unfortunately decline to answer. Didn't Ghislaine Maxwell approach you to... Okay, it's a jump. All right, didn't Ghislaine Maxwell... It doesn't matter. She's going to answer the same. Didn't Ghislaine Maxwell approach you to... Okay, and then we jump to page 20. Top of the line is girls for sex with Jeffrey Epstein? Advice my counsel, decline to answer. Oh, yeah. This is literally probably the entire deposition, is this, and it's just a matter of Edwards getting the questions on the record. Is really what it's all about. How long was this? Does it say? Yeah, 9. Oh, yeah. It was 9:05 to 12:44. There's a break in there, so yeah, it was 2.5 hours of declining to answer. Advice my counsel. Did you assist Ghislaine Maxwell? Yes. Did you assist Ghislaine Maxwell in procuring underage girls for sex with Jeffrey Epstein? On advice of my counsel, declined to answer. Isn't it true that Ghislaine Maxwell would recruit underage girls for sex and sex acts with Jeffrey Epstein? Advice of my counsel, declined to answer. Did Ghislaine Maxwell give you information on what underage girls she had contact information for? Advice of my counsel, declined to answer. Did Ghislaine Maxwell teach you to offer these? And then that's it. That's all we get is Sarah's very enlightening testimony. Deposition, not testimony. Exhibit number 9. Let's see if Exhibit 9 lives up to its potential as being Exhibit number 9. What is Exhibit number 9? Peter Kent. Who is that? I know that. Taken on behalf of the plaintiff. In Denver. I know that name. I don't want to go to the internet now. Let's see if I can figure it out. I remember that name. All right. In Colorado. Okay. It was on behalf of the plaintiff, but it was taken in Colorado, which is where Ghislane's attorneys are based. Okay, so we have Ms. McCauley again. Oh, I think he works for Epstein. Peter Kent was somebody who works for... Oh, is he the IT guy? Is he the IT guy? Okay, Ms. McCauley, okay, so it's page 25 is the first page. I'm just asking about his retention, which I believe is discoverable under Rule 26. Question by Ms. McCauley. Do you recall whether you were retained to perform work for one expert or two experts? Your opponent, am I allowed to answer this? Mr. Pagliuca, yes. I actually don't recall. All right, so he clearly yeah, because he asked, okay, am I allowed to? Yes, I actually don't recall, by Ms. McCauley. Do you know whether you were provided with one report or two reports when you initially were retained? I believe I was provided with both the reports at the same time. Let me turn to about halfway back. So it's going to be, there's markings on the bottom. It says PK005. Yes. And it indicates an amount there, an invoice. Is this one of your invoices? Yes. It indicates an amount of $17,875. $875? Yes. Is that the total amount you've been paid, with the exception of what we paid you for your testimony here today in this matter? Since when do you pay for testimony? Since when do you pay for testimony? I don't understand that. I think so. What date was this? It looks like it's dated October 29th, 2016. Oh yes, in that case, yes. Have you performed any work after that date that you've been paid for? Only in preparation for this deposition. Have you been paid for that work? No. No. Have you invoiced that work yet? No. All right, fuck it. No, I don't feel like looking at the internet. Have you been paid for that work? No. Is he a security guy, Kent? Have you invoiced that work yet? No. All right. And then I'm going to turn you to the next page. Please don't put it away yet. Which appear to be invoices. Timesheets. Timesheets? You tell me. It's a timesheet. Is this typically how you record your time when you're doing... Oh, expert witness testimony. That's what you would get paid for. Oh, I see. Okay, so he's an expert witness. I see. Okay, so he's an expert witness. Is this typically how you record your... is this typically how you record your time when you're doing expert work? Yes, and this indicates... the first entry is on September 28, 2016. 9/28/2016. Is that when you commenced work on this matter? Fuck, it's a huge skip. All right, so it seems to be he's an expert witness. For what, I don't know, though. All right, so we jump from page 26 to, oh, that's it. That's it. Huh. So that was Peter Kent. All right. So number 9 didn't really live up to the expectations that number 9 usually delivers. Okay, next. Number 10. Here comes Nadia Marcinko. I thought it was Kova. Did she change her name to Nadia Marcinko? Or was that a typo? Anyway, we have Nadia, which I can only expect to hear the exact same shit. Declined to answer. I plead the fifth. Bullshit. This one. Oh shit, they're in New York? Boy, Schiller and Flexner in New York? So this was taken in New York on January 17, 2017. Videotaped oral deposition. God, man. I wonder if at any point in history all of these depositions will be available for us to watch. Okay, so here we go with Nadia. You want to take any bets as to if she's actually going to say anything beyond our favorite phrase? All right, let's see. First page is page 10. Same answer. All right, so it starts out page 10. Reside, a dwelling that is paid for by either Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell. Answer. Same answer. Do you know Jeffrey Epstein? Same answer. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell? Same answer. How old were you when you met either Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell? Same answer. Who introduced you to Ghislaine Maxwell? See, they're all brainwashed. They've all been, these people. That's the thing that people never forget, that these two, Epstein, Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell, are manipulators. Master manipulator doesn't even begin to describe their skills and their talents, and it's all evidenced. It's evidenced all right here. So same answer. Because isn't Nadia one of the women who was like trafficked from Eastern Europe when she was a kid to Epstein? Isn't that her story? Was Nadia the one who was sold by her parents? I don't remember if that was her. Who introduced you? Same answer. When you met Ghislaine Maxwell, was she working for Jeffrey Epstein? Same answer. Did Ghislaine Maxwell work as a recruiter of young girls for Jeffrey Epstein when you met her? Same answer. Did Ghislaine Maxwell instruct you to recruit young girls for Jeffrey Epstein? Same answer. Did Ghislaine Maxwell encourage Ghislaine Maxwell? Oh, I jumped. Probably did Ghislaine Maxwell encourage you to, find other girls? So top of page 12, Ghislaine Maxwell, same answer. So again, it's just getting these questions in the record. Have you observed Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein offering these young girls money, education, or other things of value during the massage to get that young girl to return to Jeffrey Epstein for sexual purposes? Same answer. Have you observed Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein convert what started as a massage with these young girls into something sexual? Same answer. Have you understood when I talk about young girls, I'm talking about girls between the age range of 13 and 23 years old? Same answer. Have you observed that when Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein used the term massage, it always includes sex? Same answer. Was massage a word used by Ghislaine Maxwell to lure girls into sex with Jeffrey Epstein? And that's it. That's the end of Nadia's deposition. Page 96 is the last page, so I pretty much guaranteed the entirety of her deposition consisted of one time stating that, which I understand is innocent, Same answer. All right, what's next? Exhibit 11. All right, we're going on 3 hours. Maybe I'll make this one 3 hours. We're in New York. Ghislaine. It's Ghislaine's deposition. Oh my God. She can't answer like that. As the defendant, she can't answer an entire deposition like that. All right, I want to see how long this is. Page 23, page 24, page 31, page 41, page 77, page 78, page 79, 135, 144, 147, 148, 149, ooh, 174, she's speaking. Oh, this is gonna be, fuck. Well, this will be a good one to end this video with. 174, 178, 179, 180, 214, 215, 220, 221, 225, 226, 228, 229, 248, 310, 383, 390, 4. Okay, so it ends, at least our portion of it. Oh, well, the entire thing. So our portion, we get to page 390. The entire deposition is 415 pages. 412 probably. Wow. Okay. This should be good. Because she's talking. She's talking. Not only that, we have chunks of 3 pages, 3 consecutive pages, which is highly unusual to date. So I am very excited to read this one. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh. She's talking. Okay. I mean, look, whatever. Okay, so it doesn't say how long it lasted. It started at 9:04, April 22nd, Earth Day. April 22nd, 2016, in New York. Taken pursuant to subpoena. They had to subpoena her. Question. I'm not talking about friends, I'm talking about individuals. Palyuka. I'm going to... Oh, so it's Palyuka there. They're probably both there. Palyuka and Menninger. I'm going to object to you interrupting the witness who was answering your question. The question was, have you ever seen anyone, a female, under the age of 18 at the house? And that's the question she was answering. See, it's all this parsing. It's the legal parsing shit like this that makes people hate attorneys. Oh, there's many reasons why, but the parsing of the language, the semantics, like what Clinton did. Well, it depends on what your definition of is, I think is what he said. I mean, there's something to that. Specificity is very important, especially with communication. But anyway, okay. I'm going to object to you interrupting the witness who was answering your question. The question was, have you ever seen anyone, female, under the age of 18 at the house? And that's the question she was answering. If you want to strike that question and ask another question, feel free. But let the witness respond, please. Ms. Macaulay. Okay, so Macaulay's there. I will do that. So they had Macaulay questioning her. Question. Have you ever observed a female under the age of 18 at Jeffrey Epstein's home that was not a friend, a child, one of your friend's children? Answer. Ghislane. Again, I can't testify to that because I have no idea what you were talking about. Again, I can't testify to that because I have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what I'm talking about in the sense you never observed a female under the age of 18 at Jeffrey Epstein's home that was not one of your friend's children. Is that correct? Someone skip? No. Object to the form and foundation. How would I possibly know how someone is? Oh, probably how old. How would I possibly know how old someone is when they are at his house? You are asking me to do that. I cannot possibly testify to that. As far as I'm concerned, everyone who came to his house was an adult professional person. Are you familiar with the police report that was issued in respect to the investigation in this matter? Object to the form and foundation. Are you familiar with the police report that was used in this matter? The investigation of Jeffrey Epstein, who has in this matter, the investigation of Jeffrey Epstein. The investigation of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know if these are typos or has been produced as a document in this matter. I have seen a police report. Maxwell Exhibit 1, police report marked for identification. Maxwell is, okay. I think that means Maxwell deposition. The police report that you have in front of you. Can you turn to page 23 or 28 of that report? The numbers are on the top right-hand corner. Okay, we got to jump. All right, sit down. So we come in the middle of Ghislane's. One of Ghislane's answers, and it starts off with dash. Just another one of Virginia's many fictitious lies and stories to make this a salacious event to get interest and press. It's absolute rubbish. Were you in charge of hiring individuals to provide massages for Jeffrey Epstein? My job included hiring many people. There were 6 homes. As I sit here, I hired assistants, I hired architects, I hired decorators, I hired cooks, I hired cleaners, I hired gardeners, I hired pool people, I hired pilots, I hired all sorts of people. In the course, and a very small part of my job was from time to time to find adult professional massage therapists for Jeffrey. When you say adult professional massage therapists, where did you find these massage therapists? From time to time, I would visit professional spas. I would receive a massage, and if the massage was good, I would receive a massage, and if the massage was good, I would ask that man or woman if they did home visits. I hope this isn't annoying, but I'm having fun. Okay, so there's a jump. So we go from 31 to 41. And I would ask them if they did home visits. Okay, so page 41. Did you hire her? First of all, I don't hire girls like that, so let's be clear. I already testified to that, and I have no idea what you were referring to. When you say girls like that, what do you mean? I hire people who are professional at the house. You are asking if I hired somebody to do what? I don't know what you are talking about. I hired people to work in the homes. What was Nadia Martzinkova doing? Mr. Palyuka, object to the Foreman Foundation. I have no idea what Nadia Martzinkova was doing. I didn't hire her, and I don't know what you are referring to. You met Nadia Martzinkova? I testified. I did. Did she work for Jeffrey Epstein? I have no idea what she did. Meanwhile, she ran the house. She ran all the homes. Meanwhile, she had no idea. You can't have it both ways, my dear. You can't have it both ways. Have you flown on planes with Nadia Martzinkova? Okay, so that's a job, so that's the end of that. Have you flown on a plane with Nadia Martzinkova? I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. So that was page 41, and now we're on 77. Mr. Palyuka, objection to the Foreman Foundation. Answer, I don't know what that means, a masseuse obligation. I don't know what you are referring to. Would you like to ask the question properly? I think it was proper. I will ask it again. Did you ever assist in getting Virginia Roberts a cell phone to use during the time that she worked for Jeffrey Epstein? I have no recollection of doing anything of that nature. Did you ever tell Virginia that you wanted her to have a cell phone so that she could be on call regularly? I have no recollection of that conversation. How often would Virginia come over to the house in Palm Beach to give massages? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. Ask the question again, please. How often did Virginia Roberts come over to the house in Palm Beach to give massages? It's important to understand that I wasn't with Jeffrey all the time. In fact, I was only in the house less than half the time, so I cannot testify to when I wasn't in the house how often she came when I wasn't there. What I can say is that I barely would remember her. If not for all this rubbish, I probably wouldn't remember her at all, except she did come from time to time, but I don't recollect her coming as often as she portrayed herself. She was in your fucking house in London, in, what is that place called? That posh little area. She was in your fucking house. I probably wouldn't remember her at all. They all think we're idiots. But I don't recollect her coming as often as she portrayed herself. How many times a day on an average day would Jeffrey Epstein get a massage? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. When I was in the house and when I was there with him, he received a massage on average about once a day. Just once? Yes. Were there days when he received 4 or 5? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. When I was present at the house, I never saw something like that. Do you know if Virginia was required to be on call at all times to come to the house if Jeffrey wanted her there? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I have no idea of the arrangements that Virginia made with Jeffrey. When Virginia was in New York, would Virginia sleep at Jeffrey's mansion in New York? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I don't recollect her being in New York, and I have no idea where she slept. You don't ever remember seeing Virginia Roberts in New York? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I would barely recollect her at all. It cuts off, but she probably repeats that. I would barely recollect her at all, if not for this rubbish. All right, so from 79 to 135, question ends with him at any of those homes. Again, Virginia is absolutely, totally lying. This is a subject of defamation about Virginia and the lies she has told, and one of the lies she told was that President Clinton was on the island where I was president. Absolutely 1,000%. That is a flat-out, total fabrication and lie. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. You did fly on planes, Jeffrey Epstein's planes, with President Clinton. Is that correct? I have flown, yes. Would it be fair to say that President Clinton and Jeffrey are friends? I wouldn't be able to characterize it like that, no. Are they acquaintances? I wouldn't categorize it. He just allowed him to use his plane? I couldn't categorize Jeffrey's relationship. When you were on the plane with Jeffrey and President Clinton, did you... Fuck, that's the end of that one. She's just lying. This is probably where the perjury... This is probably where the perjury comes in. This is probably where the perjury comes in, is from this fucking deposition testimony. Yeah. Yeah, this is probably where her perjury charge, her current perjury charge stems from. All right, so next page is, we go from 135 to 144. It starts with the end of a question. Building that you would have seen when you were on the trip to Europe. Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I can't possibly answer that. So we're talking about pictures now. Do you recall Virginia ever taking pictures? I barely recall Virginia, period. Do you recall her ever taking pictures? No, I don't. I'm going to direct your attention, still within the flight logs, to... Okay, so they've been going through the flight logs. I'm going to direct your attention, still within the flight logs, to starting on the next page from where you were just... where you just were, which is going to be 000747. And the date at the top says 2001. You'll see March. And I'm directing your attention down towards the middle to the bottom where you'll see the numbers 27, 29, and 31. And we've got actually, I'm going to direct your attention to the one that starts with TEB for Teterboro, to SAF for Santa Fe, and the one below it, Santa Fe to Palm Beach. Damn it, that's the end of that one. So we go from 144 to 147. It's the end of an answer. Her. Okay, so this is it cuts into the end of an answer. Her. But you would have to ask Jeffrey what he bought her. Oh. Maybe she said, again, I could barely, I don't recollect her at all. I don't even remember her. I don't know, but anyway, so it starts out with her answer. But you would have to ask Jeffrey what he brought her on the trip for. But she would travel with him when there was a work trip like this. I'm seeing that she's on this flight, but I have no idea what she's doing. He invited her. It would not be my job. God. Oh my God. What about Nadia Bjorlin? Would she regularly travel with Jeffrey on flights? I have no idea. You would have to look through the flight logs. I have no idea. Your recollection is... What is your recollection? Do you recollect Nadia Bjorlin? Do you recollect Nadia Bjorlin traveling often on flights with Jeffrey? Absolutely not. No, not at all. I don't recollect her actually on the flight at all. Even though it's right there in front of her. I think you can set that aside for the moment. I'm thinking Maxwell. Maxwell Exhibit 9, message pad pages marked for identification. 147 to... Oh, good. Hold on. Alright, this is going to be the last one of this video. For now, I'll take a peek to see what comes next, and I'll do another one. I've got to eat something, so another one will come in a couple hours. Curly hair people shed a lot. All right. Okay. Back to Ghislane. Absolutely not. No, not at all. I don't recollect her actually on the flight at all. I think you can set that aside for a moment. Maxwell Exhibit 9 message pad pages marked for identification. We will mark as Exhibit 9 these excerpts from, we will identify what they are, but from, from the message pads. Did you want to correct anything? I want to make an addendum. Would you mind rereading the last question back to me? Record read. The last question was about Nadia traveling off and on flights with Jeffrey. Nadia Bjorlin. Would you mind reading it back to me? Record read. I also just want to say that at this point I cannot recollect flying to parties. Jeffrey went for work, so was this in Santa Fe, this flight as well? The flight we were looking at, yes, but it was to Santa Fe. I don't recall going to any parties in Santa Fe at any time. God, this is a horrible accent, but whatever. I don't recall going to parties in Santa Fe at any time, but certainly flying to Santa Fe for a party seems highly improbable. Every day is a party for you. So I'm going to direct your attention to the document that I set before you, which is Bates number SAO 1456, and it has different Bates numbers because it's a smaller version of the larger production, which is like with this one, or like, right, this is a whole entire document, but yet within it are separate documents, so each separate document has its own page number, and then there's the document number entire, right? So that's what that is. Okay. These are the pages I will be asking about. In the time that you were working with Jeffrey in Palm Beach, do you recall a process for taking anybody at the house, taking messages when incoming phone calls came in? You are supposed to take a message and receive the message and write the message down. Who the message was for, what time it was taken, and who took it, and what the message was, obviously. Does what's in front of you look familiar with respect to the message pads that you would have used at the house? It is familiar. I'm going to direct your attention to the second page of it. Palyuka, these all have SAO numbers on them or Bates ranges, and I don't see any of your Bates ranges on these. I know you have produced message pads, but those have your Bates range numbers on them, and I'm wondering if these are different documents. Ms. McCauley, it's the same, just ours have the Bates underneath them. So Palyuka's trying possibly imply that they're doing like a switcheroo or something. I don't know. All right, so they're 149 to 174. End of a question. Believe. Do you believe? Dash dash. Answer. I can only testify. Dash dash. Let me finish the question so the record is clear. Do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? This is where her perjury, this is the perjury charge. We are here looking at the root of those perjury charges that she is currently in MDC for. Objection to the form and foundation. You can answer. I can only testify to what I know. I know that Virginia is a liar, and I know what she testified is a lie. So I can only testify to what I know to be a falsehood. And half those falsehoods are enormous, and so I can only categorically deny everything she has said. And that is the only thing I can talk about, because I have no knowledge of anything else. I'm not asking about Virginia. I'm asking whether you believe that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors. Again, I repeat, I can only go on what I know, and what I know is a falsehood based on what Virginia said. That doesn't even make sense. What she says there, what she literally is saying there, if you take the words on their face, what she's saying there is she only knows what she knows, and what she knows is only that her knowledge is only based on what Virginia said. She's discounting her own knowledge. Macaulay is asking her personal knowledge of Epstein. But she's still. This is the trickery. You see what she's doing here? I can only go on what I know, and what I know, and she's trying to make it seem as if she's gaslighting all of us. Wow. Again, I repeat, I can only go on what I know, and what I know is a falsehood based on what Virginia said. Doesn't make any sense. What I'm asking you is whether you believe Jeffrey Epstein abused minors. It's a very simple question. It's a very simple question that is based on nothing but her own knowledge. I object to the form, and you made your record. I object to the form, and you made your record. She answered the question. No, she didn't. In any way did she answer the question. I object to the form, and you made your record. She answered the question. A fair reading of her answer is she doesn't have a belief because she doesn't have any personal knowledge. No, it's not a fair reading of that. Now you are testifying for the witness. Let her answer the question. It's a fair answer to the question. And then Ghislane comes in. Again, I testified from my own, I testified my only personal knowledge. Again, okay, I'm going to drop the accent because, okay. Again, I testified my only personal knowledge concerns Virginia, and everything Virginia has said is an absolute lie, which is why we are here in this room. Oh God, I can't wait. Can I just say, I don't think she's going to survive. I don't think we're ever going to see her on trial. But my God, I hope we do. My God, I hope we do. Oh my God, okay. Again, I testified my only personal knowledge concerns Virginia, and everything Virginia has said is an absolute lie. Which is why we are here in this room. If you are asking me to testify about things I have no knowledge of, other than the police report that you showed me, I am not in a position to make a statement based on that, because you are asking me to speculate, and I cannot speculate. She's not asking you to speculate, Ghislane. She's not at all. She's asking you your personal knowledge, belief about Jeff, your boyfriend. No speculation. No speculation. It's irrelevant what Virginia says, being a lie or not a lie. It's irrelevant. I'm asking you about your belief. Please let there be. Please. Yes. I'm not asking you to speculate at all. I'm asking what you believe. You are asking me to speculate, and I won't speculate. I'm not asking you to speculate. I'm asking what you believe. She answered the question, and we can move on. She hasn't answered the question. We are not going to engage in this debate. First of all, this isn't a debate. Jesus Christ. Distract and obfuscate. They even do it in a fucking deposition. They have no respect for the law. They have no respect for us. Like, they twist the truth as it's being made. Like, look at this. She is literally trying to manipulate the reality that is right there in front of her. The reality being that she is not being asked to speculate. She is being asked her own personal belief. She's fucking trying to gaslight the attorney. You're asking me to speculate, and I won't speculate. I'm not asking you to speculate. I'm asking what you believe. She answered the question, and we can move on. She hasn't answered the question. We are not going to engage in this debate. She answered the question. If you want to mark it and move to compel an answer to the question, have at it. Okay? Have at it. Okay. Ms. Maxwell, is it your belief that Jeffrey Epstein interacted sexually with minors? Again, you are asking me the same type of question exactly, but with different language. Again, my only knowledge of somebody who claims these things, see, this fucking word, they play games with words. My only knowledge of somebody who claims these things that I have personal knowledge of is Virginia. Again, my only knowledge of somebody who claims these things that I have personal knowledge of is Virginia. Virginia is an absolute liar, and everything she has said is a lie. Therefore, based on those lies, this is her little paragraph that she repeats and repeats and repeats. Virginia's a liar. Virginia is a liar. This is how she tries to get her way out of answering. Well, everything Virginia says is a lie, so therefore it's moot because it's a lie. That's what's going on here. Therefore, based on those lies, I cannot speculate on what anybody else did or didn't do, because if Virginia is the example of what that story is, and everything she said is false, so everything that leads from that is false. Talk about twisting logic. So that 30 other minor children in the police report are also telling lies about being sexually abused during massages with Mr. Epstein? Mr. Palyuka. Objection to the form and foundation. Counsel, can you show me in those police reports who the 30 minors are? I'm asking my question. You are making a representation about numbers. You are making a representation on the record about what people said or didn't say. We have no knowledge about that. These are all redacted records, so these are bad questions. They don't lead to any admissible evidence. No, but they do expose things. It is only being... Oh. He's probably calling... It's cut. He's probably, yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. Palyuka. He's not wrong. That's what they're doing. But it is a fact. Okay, so we're page 180 to 214. Okay, so answer. I'm carrying on. Question. I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Please. Her statement also, this is Ghislane, please. Her statement also that she was driven by her father to Palm Beach. She was driven by her mother, as a matter of fact. Her whole entire characterization of the first meeting with Jeffrey, as I was outside speaking to her mother. Let me stop you there so we don't get too far ahead. Let me make sure I understand your testimony. In the first piece, when you were talking, I believe you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that her characterization of the first meeting at Mar-a-Lago was an obvious lie. What part of that meeting was an obvious lie? By her own testimony, all her various many different descriptions of what she was or wasn't, or where she was or wasn't, they have all changed. She was either front of a house or a bathroom attendant. No, they haven't. I don't know what she was, so just by her own words, one doesn't know what's true and what isn't true. Are you saying what position she said she was working in? Is that what you were considering the obvious lie? I said inconsistency within her own statement from everything. So in the beginning, it starts off with different statements. Then I believe you said the second place was that she was driven by her father. I said she was driven by her mother. That's the obvious lie? It's an obvious lie to me. You said, why don't you You said, why don't you state it? You said, why don't you state it in your own words? But the characterization of how she was with Jeffrey. What about that is an obvious lie? I was standing outside talking to her mother, so the entire story is a fabrication. Did she not have sex with Jeffrey Epstein during that first massage? Fuck. That's it. 2:15. I don't know what this is about her mother. So 2:15 to 2:20. Starts out the last line of a question. Up to the room and start a massage? He would not. So the young girls in the police report who say they came over and were led up to the room on the first day, would they be wrong about that? Objection to form and foundation. I can't comment what happened when I was not at the house. I can only comment when I was at the house. Was there ever a time where a woman came to the house for the first time to give a massage and Jeffrey had the massage that day? Mr. Palyuka, objection to the form and foundation. Can we talk about adult professional masseuses, please? I'm asking whether adult or underage. I'm not interested in talking about underage. Sure not. I can only testify to what I know. Professional masseuses, adult. I cannot testify to anything else. Why can't you testify to an underage girl that came over and was led up to the room for a massage? Objection to the form and foundation. The police records you are referring to? You are saying that didn't happen. You're saying I can only testify to adults that came for an interview and were led up to the room. Why can't you testify to whether an underage girl was brought in for an interview and led up? Objection to the form and foundation. Go ahead. Can you re-ask the question? Why can't you testify as to an underage girl who came over for an interview and then was led up to the room for the massage? God, you've mangled your entire question. Can you please re-ask that in a way? Fuck. Distract and obfuscate. It's a very simple question. It's a very simple question that's being asked here. All right, so we skip a couple pages, and we're still trying to get her to answer the very simple question. It's 221 and 225. Present at the home when a girl under the age of 18 came over for the purposes of giving a massage. Look, just the fact that it's taking God knows how many pages to answer a very simple question, it points to her obvious guilt, Objection to the form and foundation. You can answer. You can be a professional masseuse at 17 in California, so as far as I am aware, a professional masseuse showed up for a massage. There was nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that, and your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate. How many teenagers did he have that were professional masseuses that worked in his home? Objection to the form and foundation. How many? First of all, I'm not aware of teenagers who worked in his home. You are aware of Virginia Roberts, and you've stated she was 17 and she worked for him. Correct? No, I did not state that at all. You are mischaracterizing my words and what I said. What I said was that we can all agree, and I think at this point there is not one person in this room, however much you would like her to be younger, to say she was not 17, because that has been a very offensive thing that you all have done. 17 is a teenager, dear. Teen. Operative syllable being teen. See, that gives you insight into her thinking. She's offended by the word teenager. Meanwhile, she says she was 17, supporting her argument saying that there weren't teenagers. Meanwhile, she says, that's how disconnected. That's how I mean, she was groomed. I mean, again, I'm not defending her, but that's how disconnected from reality she is. Unless I'm misreading that. Jesus. All right, so let me do this without the accent. No, I did not state that at all. You are mischaracterizing my words and what I said. What I said was that we can all agree, and I think at this point there is not one person in this room, however much you would like her to be younger, to say she was not 17. Virginia, obviously. Wait, I need to... Hold on. Wait. I think this is almost done, and then we're gonna take a break for a bit. Hello, my dear. No! All right. It's a very sweaty place. You sure you want to come down here? Okay. Just read it from here. I can just read it from here. Okay. All right. This is better anyway. All right. Okay. All right. No, I did not state that at all. You are you are mischaracterizing my words and what I said. What I said was that we can all agree, and I think at this point there is not one person in this room, however much you would like her to be younger, to say she was not 17. Because that has been a very offensive thing that you have all done. So she was 17, which is a teenager. So it was 18. So it was 19. After before being teen. So she was 17. At 17, you were allowed to be a professional masseuse, and as far as I'm concerned, she was a professional masseuse. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about her coming at that time to give a massage. Her entire characterization of her first time at the house was to me an obvious lie, given it was impossible for her entire story to take place, given I was speaking to her mother the entire time she was at the house. What is this mother shit? So it was impossible that day, that first day she came. So it was impossible that day. So it was impossible that day, the first day she came, and you were speaking to the mother, for Virginia Roberts to have had sex with Jeffrey Epstein during the time that you were outside with her mother? Jump a page. This is all right, so we jumped. Here she is with her 1,000% again. Absolutely 1,000%. She continues to protest too much. Okay, so absolutely 1,000% that she did not have any type of sexual relations as described by you in your court papers that took place because those allegedly, according to her lies, involved some aspect of me. So her entire argument, her entire everything centers around the fact that Virginia is lying. Therefore, why is she even there? All right. As I was standing outside with her mother the entire time, her entire story is a lie. Therefore, to ask me what she did or didn't do during that time, I can only testify to what she said about me, which was 1,000% false. So let's not take the first time. Let's take the second time. Let's take the next time she comes. No, how can you do that when the basis of this entire horrible story that you have put out is based on this first appalling story that was written, repeated, multiplied by the press, written, repeated, multiplied by the press, that I lied about her age, lied about the first time she came, lied about and characterized the entire first time. Oh, that lied. Oh, right. Let me read that again. Okay. So let's not take the first time. Let's take the next time she comes. No, how can you do that when the basis of this entire horrible story that you have put out is based on the first appalling story that was written, repeated, multiplied by the press, that lied about her age, that was written, repeated, multiplied by the press, that lied about her age, lied about the first time she came, lied about and characterized the entire first time. She probably lied about and mischaracterized, probably what was said the entire first time. I have been so absolutely appalled by her story and appalled by the entire characterization of it. And I apologize sincerely for banging at the table. She lost her shit. She banged on the table. She lost her shit. Oh my god. That's a fun little image right there. I have been so absolutely appalled by her story and appalled by the entire characterization of it, and I apologize sincerely for my banging at the table earlier. I hope you accept my apology. So charming. It's born out of years of feeling the pressure of this entire lie that she has perpetrated from our first time, and whilst I recognize I hope you forgive me sincerely, because it was just the length of time that terrible story has been told and retold and rehashed when I know it to be 100% false. So not the first time she came, but the second time she came, or the third time, or any time she came, did you ever participate in a massage with her in Jeffrey Epstein's room? Basically saying, so anyway, back to the, oh my god. But the second time she came, and the third time, or any time she came, did you ever participate in a massage with her in Jeffrey Epstein's room? I have never participated in any time with Virginia in a massage. Oh, I have never participated at any time with Virginia in a massage with Jeffrey. Have you ever participated in any time with Virginia in any kind of sexual contact or any sexual touching with Jeffrey and Virginia? I have not. Shit. All right, we're coming up to a jump again. I have not. So we were going through the list of obvious lies. Wow, nice. Nice. Oh, God, I would love to see this testimony. So we were going through the list of obvious lies, and we were talking about the first time, which I believe we have. And then go to 248 from 229 to 248. And the question is of 18, so probably 2018. No, oh, under the age of 18. Oh, over the age of 18. Because the answer is, I think we can establish what adult would be. No, I don't think you can. Dershowitz certainly can't. You never interviewed, or I know you don't want to use the word hired, whatever your role is, you brought in an exercise instructor that was under the age of 18 to work at the house. Object to the Foreman Foundation. I have already testified that what I was responsible for was to find people who had competencies in whatever area I was looking for. The competencies I was looking for were professional and adult. So there was no exercise instructor that worked at the Palm Beach house or the New York house or the New Mexico house or the USVI under the age of 18. Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I can only testify to when I was at the house. Okay, fine. So testify. Yes. And that's it for that. So from 248 to 310. Objection to the Foreman Foundation. That's not how I would characterize that. How would you characterize it? I have testified that I'm responsible for finding professional people to work in the homes, age-appropriate adult people, so from pool attendants to gardeners to chefs to housekeepers to butlers to chauffeurs. And one of the functions was to be able to answer the telephones. And in the context of finding someone to answer the telephones, I did look to try to find appropriate people to answer the phones. Joanna. So did you find Joanna for purposes of that role? So in the course of looking for somebody to answer phones at the house, Joanna was one of the people who said that she was willing to answer phones. Did you approach her at school? Oh, did you approach her at her school campus? So that was page 310. That's it for that. And then now we're on page 383. Question. List all of the girls you met and brought to Jeffrey Epstein's home for the purposes of employment that were under the age of 18. A question. Probably list of, I don't know. Let me read that again. List all of the girls you met and brought to Jeffrey Epstein's home for the purposes of employment that were under the age of 18. Maybe that question mark is a mistake. Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I've already characterized my job was to find people, adults, professional people to do the jobs I listed before. Pool person, secretary, house person, chef, pilot, architect. I'm asking about individuals under the age of 18, not adult persons, people under the age of 18. I looked for people or tried to find people to fill professional jobs in professional situations. So Virginia Roberts was under the age of 18, correct? I think we've established that Virginia was 17. Now, remember, 17 is the age of consent in England. That was nice. I hope that was entertaining. All right. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, so 17 is the age of consent in England. So as far, like I said, I think in the first video, first episode, jokingly, I say the age of consent should be raised to 26, but I think 18 should be the youngest age of consent anywhere, to be honest. Anyway, okay, so that's why she's leaning on the fact that Virginia was 17. She doesn't consider that to be a minor, because technically it's not a minor in England. And parts of the U.S. Apparently Florida's not one of them, though. Florida's age of consent is 18. Ooh, Midas touch video. Yes, a Victor. Yeah, I'd like to do that. All right. The monster is busy. Okay, so Virginia Roberts was under the age of 18, correct? I think we've established that Virginia was 17. Is she sorry, go ahead. Is she the only individual that you met for purposes of hiring someone for, that's the end of that. So we jump 7 pages. Mr. Peliusa, object to Foreman Foundation. Answer: if you want to ask Jeffrey questions about me, you would have to ask him. Have you ever been involved in any illegal activity in your lifetime? Objection to the Foreman Foundation. I can't think of anything I have done that is illegal. Of course, because in your mind, nothing is illegal. Oh, she has a DUI. DUI in the UK. Of course she did. I can't think of anything I have done that is illegal. Have you ever been arrested? Fur all over it. I have a DUI in the UK a long time ago. Oh my god, so much fur. She's got very dense fur. Cece Fox, and she's like constantly shedding. I have a DUI in the UK a long time ago. Is that the only arrest you have on your record? Yes. I will mark as Maxwell 22 this email. Maxwell Exhibit 22 email marked for identification. This is dated January 21st, 2015. It's from Jeffrey Epstein to you. Forwarding the Guardian, and I would like you to look at fuck. That's it. That's all we get a Ghislane, or at least in this go around. Well, that was interesting. All right, so we're going on another 3.5 hours. We just passed 3:33. My favorite. So we're going to stop this now. Let's just look ahead, though, to what is facing us, moving forward. Oh, this is all part of the same exhibit. This is part of the same exhibit. More Ghislane. More Ghislane. All right, good. We'll start out with the next video with Ghislane Part 2. Let's just see how long it is first, just so I have an idea. Okay. Again in New York, July 22nd. What's the date of this one? Let's see if it was the same day. April 22nd. First one was April 2016. Wait, am I going the wrong way? April 22nd, 2016. And then April 22nd, 2016. The next one, what did I say? April 22nd, 2016. and July 22nd, April, May, June. So we're 3 months later. 3 months later is the continued deposition. So let's see how long this is. So we have page 44, 45, 54. Oh, we got a lot of black marks on page 55. Fuck. Oh, shit. Why? Interesting. We got pages of redacted. Literally redacted, but yet they're still included. Oh, man. It's going to be interesting. 55 is pretty much all redacted. 56 is entirely redacted. 57 is almost entirely redacted. 58 is entirely redacted. Okay, and then we go to 86. Again, almost entirely redacted. 87 is entirely redacted, except for an objection. Paluga, again, entirely wow. And that's it. Fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna read it now. Because what's the next one? Deposition of Lynn Trude Miller. I don't know who that is. All right. So we're going to read the rest of Ghislane's. Most of it is blacked out. It's literally redacted. Okay. So continued videotape deposition. We established 3 months later after what we just heard. In New York. Starts off page 44. Ghislaine talking. Thought, I really don't recall her, so it's hard for me to testify what I thought about her age at the time. Was Virginia in the period of around 2000 the youngest person that, as you understood it, was giving Mr. Epstein massages? Object to the Foreman Foundation. Again, I can't testify to her age, but everybody else that I can recall seemed to be, again, like I would say, adults. Remember, she considers anybody over 17 an adult. You didn't think Virginia was an adult, did you? Object to the Foreman Foundation. Like I said, I don't recall her. I don't recall thinking about. My memory is of adults giving Jeffrey massages, and as I don't really remember Virginia around that time, I don't know what to think. You do remember Virginia about that time back in the 2000s, giving Mr. Epstein massages? Object to the Foreman Foundation. I barely remember her at all. Whether you barely remember her or not, you do remember that back in the period around 2000, Virginia was giving Mr. Epstein massages, right? Objection to Foreman Foundation. Only in the most general terms. It would be somebody who would give him a massage, and that's it. It would be. You know, it's these little things. The devil is in the details, you know? That's the way I see it. It's these little things that give you insight into her twisted brain. It would be somebody who would give him a massage. She said who? I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I doubt it. Okay, during the period of time, back in the period around 2000, when you knew that Virginia was somebody who would give Mr. Epstein a massage, was she somebody who you considered an adult? Objection to Foreman Foundation. I didn't consider her at all because she is not somebody that I really interacted with. Is it your testimony that Virginia was not somebody that you interacted with? All right. That's it. It is your testimony that Virginia was not somebody that you interacted with. Okay, page 55. It starts Epstein's home in Palm Beach. Objection to form and foundation. Answer. Redacted. Question redacted. Answer redacted. Question redacted. Answer redacted. Question redacted. Answer redacted. Question. Long question redacted. Answer short. Answer redacted. Question. Another question. Another short answer redacted. Another something. Interjection redacted. Short redacted. Redacted. Question redacted. It's all redacted. Answer redacted. Answer redacted. Even redacted. Redacted. All redacted. Long. Jesus. Mr. Palyuga. Objection to form and foundation. Answer redacted. 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 And then we have a page full of everything redacted except for, oh, here. Right? So, oh. Why is it not? Oh, I gotta use two hands, right? So here. So, look at that. Look at that. It's all. So that's not redacted. That's why you can't see it. So that's just regular. And then this is the first one I have come across with these. The actual literally redacted. It's the first document that's had any of that, except for the one with the name, the Jane Doe. And then other than that, it was just the birth date and addresses, which is normal. Look at that. So it's all redacted. And the only ones that aren't is the object to form and foundation text. So these are consecutive pages, right? So we go from, let's see, page 55. Page 55. Page 55. So we, oh wait, oh yeah, so it's 45. Oh, unfortunately, I don't, there's 10 pages of context prior, so it's probably impossible to even begin to try to figure out what the line of questioning was here. So it's page 55, page 56, it's all blacked out, page 57, all blacked out except for a couple of objection to form and foundation. I don't know why those are left. Actually, well, that would kind of imply that none of these blacked out things or any of them are objections. It's all question and answers. There's no objections. It looks like any objection is left unredacted. So, wow. Mind real. So these are all consecutive page numbers. We're on page 57. Page 58, entirely redacted, except for one objection. And there's a lot of long answers. Okay, now we have a jump to page 86. Object to form and foundation, answer, no. And then redacted. And then we have another object to form and foundation. She answers, I don't know. Redacted, redacted. Objection to form and foundation, asked and answered. Answer, no. Were they ever in the Virgin Islands? Objection to form and foundation. Answer, no. Page 86, page 87, entirely redacted except for objection. It looks like there's a couple of long answers. And then that's it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, there's more. Page 91. Okay, now we're back to... Oh, it's David Boyes doing the questioning here. All right, page 91. I think it was her answer ends with it to something in the case. I think it's tied it to something in the case. And then Boyes says, David Boyes, I think it's tied, but if you instruct her not to answer, interesting. It's Palyuka. It's a conversation between the two attorneys. So Palyuka said something that ended with tied it to something in the case. And Boyes says, I think it's tied, but if you instruct her not to answer, it goes into and then Palyuka says, meat grinder. I think he was going to say it goes into the record as... So I think Boyes' point was she's better off answering the question. It's redacted. Interesting. Okay, so I think it's tied, but if you instruct her not to answer, it goes into the meat grinder. Palyuka comes in. So Boyes asks a question. I think there's an objection. Ghislane says, can you repeat the question? He repeats the question. Palyuka, same objection. Yeah. So the first thing, same objection. Answer, no. Question. That's it. All right. So we're going to start out with Exhibit 12 for the next episode, which I think is 5. And this will be Lynn Trude Miller. You know what? Let's just look her up right now. It's in Colorado. Blonde. That's her. It must be her. She's Colorado. Where was this taken? Was this taken in Colorado? Yeah, it was taken in Colorado. Renee Rockefeller, Gigi Mortimer, Sarah Ayers, Janet Conan, Peggy Siegel, Ariadne, Calvo, Platero, Perry, Peltz. You see that? It's freaking sea tile. Alright, I'm getting distracted. Trying to figure out who this woman is. Whoa, hello. What the fuck? That's not a pleasant look. That is not a pleasant look at all. The fuck? Shit. What the fuck happened? Oh, my computer's fuck. Alright, well, this shit. I don't know what happened. Alright, well, so weird. When I put in Lynn Trude Miller ghislane as a search term, it brings up information about Virginia's brother Sky. That's weird. That's weird. Alright, I gotta figure out what is wrong with my computer. I might have to restart it. Anyway, so that's the end of episode 4. Thank you again for your time. Cece says goodbye. I'll be back later after I eat and stop talking for a while. And yeah. Bye for now.